time it is, buddy?
Fever time?
Yeah, man!
Fire.
Everything that you carry, any luggage you take, all the ghosts you keep in hiding, they don't scare me away. No, 'cause I can't stop falling in love with you. I won't stop falling in love with you. I can't stop falling in love with you, with you. There's a past that keeps on calling, or if it keeps you awake, I won't let a scar keep me from your lips. I catch every tear from your face. 'Cause I can't stop falling in love with you. I won't stop falling in love with you. I can't stop falling in love with you, with you. I can't stop falling in love with you. I won't stop falling in love with you. I can't stop falling in love with you, with you.
What's up, everyone? Happy Friday. That's right, guys. We made it. It's Friday, and we get to talk about an awesome show. That's right, Fallout Season 2, Episode 5. It's a doozy. We get a lot of lore, a lot of backstory, some feelings in there, and family is, well, Dana, family sucks sometimes.
It sure does. I thought you were my friend, Scarlett. I thought you were
Well,
my friend.
but I gotta save but he's got him in cryo state. He's threatened my family. We'll figure it out, Dana. You'll be safe. Don't worry.
The betrayal.
I know. We were just starting to get along.
I know.
They were too. We were just talking about how they were coming together over drugs last episode. He's been teaching her lots of lessons about the wasteland. Our ghoul has been teaching Miss Lucy. And now, unfortunately, Lucy's daddy has, well, he figured it out, Dana. Damn it, he figured out the mind control whoopsie daisy on the back of the neck. And who would have thunk it? By our one and only, the dude who, I don't want to say it. Well, he's
Our
a merchant,
salesman, right?
He's a merchant. He now has a fake talk show on Prime, Amazon Prime. You can go check that out. Quite hilarious. He has a robot on the episodes, right? So the robot that we're going to talk about tonight in this episode has been featured on his fake talk show, Fistbot or Fiscobot. Dana, you have no idea how bad it's going to get tonight.
I can only imagine.
that robot has a particular purpose, and he has been advertising it accordingly on the talk show. I did not realize how much so, and apparently my sources tell me in the game New Vegas, this is a robot that you encounter, and it does something that sounds like its name.
Huh. Interesting.
And it is Vegas data, so all the fantasies and desires, as we have
Right.
seen when we last played, they promised. Apparently, even Fisto delivers in his own way. It's something like that, the robot's name, but data, I can't. It's. We got a lot of stuff to get into tonight, folks, and we're going to dive into it. We'll have some folks perhaps join us on panel throughout the night. Excuse me. Still getting over a little cold, so voice still a little raspy, but that's all right. We will proceed forward. And Mr. James has been a little busy, so he hasn't had a chance to catch the episode, but you guys will get to hang out with him tomorrow night on your channel, right, Dana? We're going to do some fun things there.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We are going to start study group. I'm excited.
Nice. And
Yes,
I know I
it's gonna
see
be
Mr.
fun.
Great Gold in the chat. He might be joining us as well. But yeah, that's going to be fun. We're going to do a watch party kind of
Yes.
deal, and
Same thing we
live
did
stream.
for All of Us Are Dead. So we're going to watch the episodes in the Discord, and then we're going to talk about them live on stream as we watch.
Nice. Great Gold, do you have it still open on tab? Welcome, Great Gold. We do have an echo. I don't know if it's maybe you still have. We can hear you. It just has like an echo. I don't know. It's like playing us. I don't know if you have YouTube open.
Yeah, I do. Hold on.
All right.
I'm turning it down. Let's see what's going on. Sorry.
Yeah, usually if you turn the YouTube off, you should be good. All right. Nope. We still got an echo. All right. We'll try again with Mr. Great Gold. But yeah, this episode's got a lot, and we're going to dive into a whole bunch with our Ghoul, Lucy, Mr. House, and all the content that Amazon Prime has offered, Dana, because not just the talk show, but I have done my best, and I've got to go back and get a few more shots, because you know how they like to give us the glitchy things that we talked about last time? I went back to, so we have like 3 total now, I believe, of these little Pip-Boy sort of like video clips of downloading stuff and what have you, and talking about Robco and Vault Tech and all these different things. So I went back to the first one, and there was some stuff I missed, Dana.
What was there?
Oh yeah, some things we're going to dive into and talk about. So where shall we begin first? Let's see. This is I got my screenshots like this because, again, I got all of the previous, and these were the little things we were talking about right here, but I went back to the first episode and this one as well, and we get some more codes and things from these items. I'm trying to remember all together how many we had. We have 3 or 4 of them now. I have to go back and totally look, but either way, this is where we begin our fun for the episode, right where we left off, Dana. We get some nice, fun little friends. They had the greeting party of about 3 or 4 Deathclaws. That's fun, right? I mean, it's fine. They're just is he eating another Deathclaw? What the hell is going on? Well, either way, they are ready to have fun with them, and it seems as if our ghoul brought some fireworks of his own, Dana.
He did. Okie dokie.
And look at that. You got the ladies right there. It like the signage back there with the fire. It's a beautiful screenshot. We got our death claw right here, and our ghoul shooting the grenades that he put in the bag. I mean, that was a fun shot. I'm not gonna lie, I did enjoy that. I mean, they had to run
Ghoul's
their little
always
asses off.
prepared.
He is. But that was,
I feel
I
like
did like that
he's
shot.
walking around with like a bag of holding, which is like his endless bag of tricks.
Right? It never looked really that full, but somehow he's constantly pulling like caps and grenades and stuff out of it. Right when but they didn't have a rocket launcher, and neither did she. He did ask her. She did not have a rocket launcher in the bag. That would have came in clutch right about now.
It would have.
But it's all right though. They made it through. Look, you just got to just you got to pull her through, and they're good. Yeah, welcome to Vegas, folks. It's
right.
And I love the conversation where she's just kind of asking him, like, were the Deathclaw, like those whatever creatures there, like Deathclaws? They're called Deathclaws? Like, were they always here? No. And they're like, I would ask why would my dad want to, run into a den of monsters, but I'm sure you would just, tell me to fuck off, basically.
Right.
It's like, yeah, see? They're getting along beautifully. And she needed drugs. Because she was out of drugs, Dana.
She was. Shit. Don't want to be out of drugs.
Mm-mm. And look at all these wonderful people here in Vegas. Like this gentleman here. He says, beat me up for caps, Dana. For 4 caps. Is that a bargain?
I guess.
I'm just
if you
not
need
so
to get
sure.
out some frustration, possibly.
I mean, like what is it, like 3 punches, or do you just like get to kick the shit out of him? Like, what are we talking about for 4 caps here?
Right, what's the limitations?
She's like, oh no, I'm good, thank you, sir. It's fucking walks by. But I did like how they're doing the sets and stuff, though. I know I'm joking around and everything, but the show is actually pretty good. All the costumes and the sets. And I think on the talk show, the ghoul, Cooper, or the actor, talks about how long it takes him to actually put on the whole get up for the ghoul. It takes him like 2 hours for, I'm sure, the makeup to put all this on his face and everything and on the neck. So they do put a lot into it, at least. And I do appreciate the attention to detail, also because this is an actual spot. This is pretty accurate, I would say, to New Vegas. Once we kind of get a grasp on where they are and the kind of location to other things, it is pretty accurate. I think some things change a little bit just because of the fact that time has carried on. But for the most part, everything is pretty much where it should be. Even when our ghoul ends up going into the bar and talking to the barkeep there, and as he talks about sort of this kind of merry-go-round or this endless cycle of NCR, Legion, robots, whatever, like it's the same old thing no matter what. It just continues on. Every bag is a bag of holdings. Indeed, Mr. Great Gold. And feel free to try again, Hunt. I know some of the stuff can get a little complicated or frustrating, but feel free to try again. But this was good. Again, I like
you could still have YouTube open on your thing. You just have to have it muted.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I just close it altogether just in case it's causing, like, depending on your PC.
I do too, but I know that if you just if you keep it muted, it should get rid of the echo. Oh.
But let's see. Again, all the sets, like the attention to detail they're putting to everything, and it's pretty much what you think of for this sort of apocalypse in New Vegas for the costumes, and even the fact that they have it's kind of like these cars on the side of the road. Those are everywhere. This sort of scene of the broken overpasses and stuff like that, and the freeways and things. Again, all of this sort of debris and stuff is very much so like the game. And I think it's accurate in the sense that this is also so many years after I believe the last game came out. So there, it's got a little extra possible wear and tear. There's, the factions have been fighting amongst themselves time and time again, as our barkeep talked about, and he didn't care, Dana, as long as they didn't come with no taxes. He don't care about them lizard creatures. As long as they don't make him no taxes, he ain't got to shoot them. He just don't want to be taxed. And he got a nice establishment too. It is quite nice in there.
Right? Lots of liquor.
Right? It was a nice at that, man.
Right? Barkeep is living it up.
Right? Well, our ghoul, I love too how he tells her to go to Sunny's to get all that crap out of her veins, and she's like, "Where are you going?" "I'm going to get fucked up."
I mean, I'm going to get wasted.
And he does. He tends, as we'll see, and as he goes back in time a little bit, we get a little kind of before times as he drinks his sorrows away and tells the barkeep, "Look, man, I want to drink. Just leave me the fuck alone.
Stop talking."
Right? And we get the Galaxy news talking about the sort of convention or summit and the government's not being able to take care of the threats. So these big tech dudes and such are all coming together in Vegas in order to solve the problems, Dana. With Mr. House, the owner or founder of Robco. Yeah, and this man here, yeah, he's a tricky little bitch, ain't he? Yeah, that ain't Mr. House. But for, publicity's sake, he is the face, pretending to be Mr. House. He's a paid individual to be Mr. House. But it's okay. Because the real Mr. House, we're going to get to, well, we already saw him. He was the man in the toilet. But look at Hank. He was a young Hank. You remember when the ghoul told him he used to carry my wife's dry cleaning? He said that to him in like season 1 of the last episode. Hey, there he is. He's carrying all this shit. And the goods. He's got the goods, Dana.
He does. I wonder how he was able to get that thing to work.
Which thing? This?
The thing on the back of the guy's neck that was blowing up everybody's heads.
I think because that particular individual that he used is a particular one that he accepted it, maybe. I'm not exactly sure. But I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to explain that, because I don't know too much about that device, but I think they're going to explain it a little bit more in the next episode. There's like the previews or whatever for the next episode, also Prime for the extras, and it kind of gives you a little bit, it glimpses into that a little bit, or shows House talking about it. So maybe we'll kind of find out why it worked for him. But he's our merchant's an extra special individual.
Gotcha.
And we're going to talk a little bit more about him as we go through. But again, our girl's back. If nothing else, at least in the flashbacks. She didn't make it through season 1, but she's still here, Dana. And
she is.
She came packing with. She wanted him to give that to Mr. House. I don't even know what that is. I thought it might. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Just, I guess, some kind of poison.
Well, he knew. He was like, "You're here to kill me, right?"
Yeah, try using headphones. If you have like headphones and a mic and you can work that out, that's probably the best. Because that means that it's probably your mic's picking up the speakers. Something like that. Well, what's up, EJ? Welcome. How dear? Welcome everyone. But yeah, if you guys know what this like, if this was an actual substance or is this just supposed to be just a typical poison per se, I'm not sure. I wondered if it was something from Fallout in particular, but I don't know for sure. But he told her no. He said, "I'll get the goods and not have to do the bad." And she was surprised, and I don't know if she appreciated that attitude. But do you recognize these two handsome gentlemen with Hank?
I do not.
Welcome, Carl D. All right, so our Vaulties that have sprung with Lucy's brother. These two are the guys that were helping. Yeah, let me get down to it. It's way at the end of the episode. Let's see if I can find one with just them. And they were helping with the comms. What's up? What's up, Carl?
Hello,
Okay.
Carl.
Where did they go? Here they are. So this gentleman here and this gentleman here.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
So you remember all these guys were
Yes.
they came in and they're the ones that were under the cryo state. So they were from a week prior. This lady here talked about how she was just a week ago. She
Mm,
was at work. So all of those guys were, at least some of them, were there during the Vegas stuff. So they're also in a picture that I showed last week that was in the this picture here. This is all of them getting right before they go into cryo state. And this is in that
that's
extra content that Prime put out with the like the Pit Boy downloadable whatever fuckery that is all about.
Yeah, I was trying to
gotcha.
figure out.
And
Oh yeah,
so
by the way,
that
I seen my bad.
no, go
I
ahead, go
seen
ahead.
I seen you was just talking about. You remember that vial that he was supposed to poison House with?
Yeah, this one.
Rumor is that stuff is actually supposed to be the stuff that the ghouls take to keep them from becoming feral. So that could be why he knew what that was
See, I
before.
wondered because I wonder if that might be how he ends up turning into a ghoul
That's
or
what I was
something.
thinking too. But
Because he is,
that,
because I'm assuming somehow, and I don't know for a fact that he's going to get separated from his wife and daughter, but he still has to survive the blast because we see him when the bombs go off with his daughter. We don't know what happens after that, and that's back season one.
yeah, and a lot of this keeps going back and forth, so it's kind of.
Right,
You know, but yeah, that because that's what I remember. I was like, that kind of looks like something, but I. But you know how you always see him like hitting something out of an inhaler every once in a while.
right.
That's supposed to be what that is, I think. But that's a thing that's in '76, so I'm not really like 100% on all that lore of what that really is. But that's
Mm-hmm.
what keeps them from becoming a feral. So because in '76 you can be a ghoul as a character.
Oh, okay. They're putting a lot of different stuff, like you said, from Brothers 3, 4, 76, New Vegas itself. I don't know how, and probably in what 1 and 2, right? Because that's
Yeah,
what is it 2 or Sandy Shades and the Vault, and how they
yeah,
recreated that.
and they're also like going into the death call thing, which is that's from two, well actually before. So and '76 is before three,
Mm-hmm.
so that's why they're dipping into that because it kind of like well, it's like in the middle
Right,
because there was this one Fallout called Tactics that was in between that stuff, which they kind of like didn't make a lot of that canon, but they still like hint to it here and there, which was about a group of the Brotherhood, which is all the Midwest Brotherhood.
mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like how you know how we're always like, well, how did they become like to Vegas,
Mm-hmm.
and you know they're not really like a presence in the game. So
Right.
that kind of is where like some of that went to because it's not really Methuselah, so they kind of like were like, well, this isn't part of our game, so we kind of took it away. But yeah, and that Brotherhood actually remember how I was telling you how the Brotherhood there's some groups that accepted the ghouls and everything. That was
Mm-hmm.
one of them groups. They even had super mutants as part of the Brotherhood in that group.
Okay. Yeah, these two guys, right? All this whole group, they are definitely making sure to show them, and let you see what they were like. So, and these two in particular, because the guy later goes to these two and it's like, "Hey, you guys know," and the girl said they're crazy. Like they're aware of what the true plan for the vault was, which I thought I knew what the plan for that particular vault for management was, but apparently they had other plans. I don't know if they're going, if it was so much to release. It sounds like it was to release it on the other two vaults, or was it just to possibly they're going to release this agent onto the wasteland? I wasn't completely sure, but as we'll see later with them, there's some fuckery with their vault, a little bit more than perhaps we thought on the surface, and we'll see that in a minute. But just remember these two, Dana. They are a part of Vault. What was that? Vault 33?
31, I think.
It's 31. That's right. 31,
Yeah.
32, and 33 with the other two. So, yes, they are upper management. As you can see, they are with Hank. They are kissing his butt. And the other guy that's kind of with them later, he's Bud. That Bud's guy's like personal assistant. So I'm assuming they're almost like, maybe, I don't know if they're personal assistants or they're just other managers underneath Barbara, Cooper's wife, because she was part of the management. That's what she was talking about, management vault. So there was quite a few.
Well, it seems like his wife was like the head of that Vault Tech area general. Like she was like the head manager besides like whoever was really running it.
Right, which Barbara might have a little bit more to her story than we know as well, because House mentions it in this episode of how she's different from like the other just sort of business individuals that are there. But they made it to Vegas. Back in the past, look at it. Look at this beautiful strip here. The tops. We got our little hooker house here that we visited.
Yeah, I love how they
Yo.
like showed it alive.
And you can see, and everyone's come, and it even says Vault 21. So it's already saying that it is. And this is where we go, and we went to the gift shop. But I'm assuming, is this actually the vault underneath where her dad is at? Or is it somewhere else and I'm just unaware of where the vault here is at?
That could be where her dad is at, but that's definitely the vault that you visited.
Right. And I don't know if it, because remember they said that he buried it under concrete?
Yeah, and that makes sense to me. Like even in the, it just didn't make sense. Why would House do something like that? Because he uses all his space for something. Like he even uses the 38. That's where he used the lasers to protect him from being hit by the missiles and stuff. So he made sure that he had all the protection he can for Vegas because that's his baby. He wants Vegas to survive.
And
So
he came upon Lucy pretty quickly, right? Like he was suited up and he walked into the hotel, and the hotel that they are at the end of the episode is on the other side of the gates where this is at, the free side, I believe, because you can still see the Lucky 38, the top, all that stuff is on the other side of that gate where they entered, and that free side is where they were staying at. So I'm wondering if that's the vault or if it has to be somewhere close enough by, right? I'm assuming for him to be traversing this area like that, the way he is.
Yeah, I'm thinking that that vault that wasn't concreted in. Like he's there somewhere. If not there, there's some sort of other area because there is another part of the 38 as well that was shut down during your gameplay. But it could have been aired out by now, and maybe there was something under there as well, but we haven't just seen that yet. But I'm assuming that it's that vault because they're showing it. It's right there. There's probably a reason. Usually, when you see something in this, if you know, there's a reason why we're seeing it.
Right. because I know when I went there, it made it out like there was nothing underneath the vault, like it was all in like cased or whatever with concrete. But just the
Yeah,
fact that I'm trying to figure out because when I go back in the game, I'm going and I don't know if they're just adding a vault that's not previously been on the map as far because there's vaults that maybe we don't even know about in the games, right? Just because we see them in the games doesn't mean that's all the vaults. That's just the ones they've showed us.
yeah,
If they
exactly.
wanted to play that card, right?
Well, remember I was telling you about the map that they changed the map. Anyways, they've added some stuff from some other games, and they've taken some stuff away.
Mm-hmm.
When I was telling you about the Brotherhood had it behind them, there was
Mm-hmm.
a lot of stuff that's like there and not there. It's different than what we would think it was.
What's up, Tex? Oh, and Tex, I'm so glad you showed up for a real quick sec. Make sure you message me or Dana in Discord your address for your prize. And
Yes,
that goes for
please.
everybody who has who is a winner. Make sure you, if you haven't reached out to us.
Yes, we have some extra time because we're going to be getting some snow. So I don't know if I'll be able to get the packages out Monday. I might be getting the packages out at the end of the week, but still get me your address whenever you can, please.
And welcome, Bill Chill. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're having an awesome Friday, had an awesome week, and are ready for an awesome long weekend. Right? I mean, school's out Monday. And let's see. So yeah, I'm not sure where the vault is exactly. I'm kind of hoping they might actually show us if it's this vault or if there's another one somewhere. Like I said, I'm not sure of all the vaults that are in New Vegas to begin with. So I'm kind of curious to see where they place the one that Lucy's dad is in. But they got some rioters out. They protesting. They is not happy.
But see, that's a big thing that happened because they all were against kind of the way that House was doing his robots already before, you know, the end. So it's showing that House is already becoming who he became, I guess.
Thank you, Tex. I got it. I will make sure Dana gets it, and I will not dox you. Yeah, Kate might be upset, but I can't help that.
Don't worry, Tex. I'll get it. I'll send you some great pictures and stuff.
Don't just no. I would never give it to Carl. That's the last person I'd give it to. But look, the ad campaign is working out for Cooper with the thumb, and let me show you around your new home. So I'm assuming, and it might just be that this vault is just set up as one of the tourist vaults as well. And so I'm kind of curious to see where Lucy's dad pops up at, where that vault is. Is it underneath the 38? Or is it somewhere else just outside of the strip or just outside of this part of the strip? I'm not sure. But they
But
are
see,
dressed in style.
they did change the strip a little bit in the show as well because, like I said, when they slid underneath the gate,
Mm-hmm.
how they just slid right into the strip basically, to run from the death claws. That
Mm-hmm.
kind of isn't exactly the way it was set up because, like, you have the whole east part and all that where you first
Right.
come in, and when you look at there, you'll see the King's area and like a couple little spots that wasn't even supposed to be on in Vegas at all. There's like one, I can't remember which one it's called, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not really supposed to be there. It's in another part.
Right.
So, so that kind of it kind of has a little bit of a, if you really know the maps and stuff, like that's
Like
not
they're kind of
how
trying to
they,
just squeeze stuff in a little
yeah.
bit. Yeah.
Because there was one part that was, I think it's supposed to actually be in Boston or something. It's one of the little hotels, but it's one of them that's known, so they kind of just threw it in there for fan service. So they're still
Right.
trying to.
Yeah, I mean, they seem like they're trying to fit in as much of the lore as they can. They are cramming a lot in there, and then it messes it up a little bit, kind of confuse you on some things. But yeah, like you said, some things are more Easter eggs than they are
Yeah,
um, supposed to be taken seriously. I think, but they're there just because I think they want to make sure the game fans and stuff are like, oh yeah, I remember that. But look, our
Like,
politician lady's back. She's fighting the good fight, Carl.
yeah, you never heard where the line came from, right?
Where?
Three dogs.
Oh, is that where it came from?
Yeah, you fight the good fight.
Hmm. It's just one series of humiliations.
Which I think that part of him picking her up and he's like Coop, it kind of was showing like how he's already was changing even
Mm-hmm.
back then. I mean, he was always like, from what he went through, and there's a big picture of him standing there, and people are like, pretty much like, "You're evil. Why are you doing this?" Because that's what his place was in the role of the whole bombs and everything. Because he could no longer fight that way, so they had him fighting through Hollywood, which also shows
Mm-hmm.
how the corporations control Hollywood and whatnot.
Right. And as we're going to find out in this episode, Cooper apparently has a lot more to do with things, whether intentionally known or not, according to House. And like you said, whether he was in the armed forces back when we see him in Alaska, or even here right now as the sort of advertising face of this sort of vault tech and the corporations and everything. Like, yeah, he's got his hand, he's around everything that's going on. So I'm curious to see what is the end game, because they're kind of playing at a few things between him, House, and the third sort of party at play. And how it's almost as if the third party is maneuvering Cooper, but Cooper is unaware of it. But is he? Because I mean, Cooper didn't do what they said he was going to do. So even though he took the ticket that set, according to House, these other things in motion, right? He kind of talks to him about how he's a mathematician, and as soon as he bought the ticket, all these different things started to change.
Yeah, and House couldn't figure out mathematically why that his family in particular is changing the drop dates of the bombs. Because to him, he
Because
had it
his
already
daughter's
figured out.
birthday was the original date,
Yeah,
which is, like I said, when as they're revealing some of this stuff, knowing that he also knows that there's something, and it has to do with Anchorage and whatever the death clause. That's, I don't know, because they're all pointing to House to be the one, and even what we heard his wife say. So again, there's all these different pieces that they're kind of giving us right now that are very curious. His Cooper, his wife, House, the death clause, seeing them prior to the fallout. I mean, back when Cooper was in the armed forces, which is leading to, like you said, the Enclave, I believe.
yeah. Which I also think that, like, if you look at the way that old girl was just when she was thrown out, that was kind of like a thing saying, because they worked for the American government, and that's what she was. She had the flag and all that. That was
What was
kind
the
of a little hint as
president of
well.
the Enclave that I had to deal with? You said something about how he wasn't like a real person or something, or was he?
No, he what happened with the enclave at that point? Because like back in these days, the before times, they were the ones doing the stuff like the death call. They was pumping out all the technology that through House. House was making it, and he unknowingly apparently was selling it to them because they were the shadow government. But they
Hmm.
were also doing all this other things like with the FEV virus.
Which
And
we'll see in this episode, right?
yeah,
That's what they'll
but
find out
there's a
about.
brief
Yeah.
second about that, and that's where the death clause. Because like I said, the death clause originally there was an experiment they made. They were a chameleon, and they made the death clause from a chameleon. That's why
Oh,
sometimes they
that's
can
why they
change
call them the
colors.
lizards. The dude in the, remember the barkeep called him like the lizard something.
Yeah,
Okay.
but as they was doing a lot of these experiments as well, when experiments failed, they would just set them loose. And that's
Hmm.
an ongoing thing with most of the other factions as well that's around. Like they just will do whatever they're doing, and then they set them free. Like the Institute was also doing that in part 4. That's why you'll have like them giant super mutant brutes and this and that. running around because after their experiment's done, they just let them loose and then let the wasteland do whatever it does with them.
And I'm wondering because they showed Galaxy News at the beginning of this episode, talking about the summit. And Galaxy News is that the one that was, or is it a different one? Which was the
Got
Enclaves? Was that the Galaxy News?
no Galaxy News was three dogs,
That's okay. Galaxy News was three
and
dogs.
that's been in every single game as well.
Okay. I know Galaxy News. I was trying to remember which was the one for the Enclave.
I,
What was that
I
one?
can't remember which one that is. I know what it is, but
I know now. I can't
wasn't it
remember.
just like Enclave News?
It might have been. I thought they had one that was special
But
too.
it was. I think it was called something else.
All right. Well, never mind then. I was gonna go with something, but it doesn't matter now. All right. So that was
Yeah,
three dogs. Yeah.
yeah, that's why I said the three dog thing. All because they said the Galaxy News, and then he said the thing.
Mm-hmm. It's coming back to me. Look, it's been a long day. Trying to remember everything. Oh, I swear my brain
Yeah,
is.
I'm about half asleep as well. So
You're doing better than me. But there's a lot of different things going on here that are kind of interesting, and I'm kind of curious to see where they're going to go with it, with just the little bit of lore that I know from Fallout, um, and how they're incorporating Cooper, his wife, and his daughter into House, and the sort of end game, or the I guess the start game, really. Um,
and
because
since
not
you're
only do we
saying,
have like Lucy's story now, but House now they are throwing in something to give them a longevity for the series, which is who started the bombs dropping and how, and then having Cooper's involvement. We already know that our robot friend Victor mentioned a few episodes back about Cooper having something to do with. Did he say was it the dam? But I know it had to do with the power source
well,
that they're
it seemed to
referring
be
to right
yeah.
here.
Well, this power source was the fusion thing, right?
Right, but
Which
wasn't that what Victor was talking to Cooper about?
yeah. Well, he was also talking about Hoover Dam and how he got his little percentage out. Well, he will eventually. We know that all went down. But we know
Hmm.
that this cold fusion thing, he never got this because the Enclave ended up with that at the beginning of season one.
Okay.
So his plan of being like, remember how he was like, I'm going to be a robot because I need this fusion so I can become a full robot so I can continue what I'm doing to protect Vegas. Well, we
Hmm.
know that that didn't happen, and that's why he became a human. When he remember when I told you he had that helmet on that they show
Yeah, I
here
get
in
it.
a little while.
Uh-huh.
Well, he has that in his pod, but he's still human. Very like he's pretty much just hooked up to whatever life support he has, keeping him alive, which failed and all that stuff, which we know for many years did he say it failed?
Oh,
I forget. It was 3 or 4 or 5 years, however long he was down, and he came back, and then he made the deal with the NCR, and then
hmm.
they had whatever battle there to do the damn thing and all that, and that's how he made sprung Vegas back to whatever it was when we see it in the game. But that helmet he has there is definitely the same thing he had on in his pod.
Right.
So his robot thing did not work, and we know that somehow the Enclave has gotten their hands on that. So we know that happened somewhere. We just don't know how or why or where. I mean, maybe Cooper was working with Enclave all along, and that's the right there is the key to knowing that's what he was really doing, and he's Enclave.
Could be. I'm just curious if Cooper's aware or if they're because he's being when he was saying like the one chick, that sent, or he was saying the people that sent him there, he's thinking that those are the people, but those were part of a different group. They weren't part of the Enclave because she stole the technology from the Enclave, or she didn't steal. She stole it back, I should say. Um, so I don't think that chick was with them. So I'm curious. I don't know. There's a lot of fuckery going on here with this conversation, and how House sort of talks about the what they consider the end of the world date, and who's going to cause it, and how Cooper may or may not be involved with it. Like you said, they're like mathematically entwined. Um, almost like everything, like Cooper's a variable, and everything
Yeah,
Cooper does changes the outcome,
and he
which,
doesn't like the variables. He
right.
doesn't understand Cooper as the variable because according to his mind, he knows everything.
Right. And Cooper doesn't even understand why he would be a variable. Like why, like when you could kind of tell once he started talking about his wife and his daughter and how it related to all of these different mathematical things that he's trying to figure out. Cooper started to walk back down them steps, right? He was like, I'm not coming down them steps. Like, you're the dude from the bathroom. Like, why you got this
Yeah,
other guy pretending to be you for like 10 years? Cooper's kind of like, I could give two fucks at this point, right? He's like, and by the end of this conversation, he's even almost like, fuck both sides, right? He has to go drink because he's just like, what in the fuck is going on here? Like, I
yeah.
got one side telling me that you're evil and that you're going to end the world. You're telling me that my wife isn't like these corporations. He doesn't understand her completely or what her deal is, nor does he understand why I'm changing. Like, it was so crazy.
It was either he thought he was completely batshit insane, or he knew something that Cooper already knows and triggered him into his drinking, which also showed that he always had a problem with drinking and stuff, which could be a reason why he's his ghoul self now.
Mm-hmm.
Because he could have just, after his wife and kid disappeared, he could have just been experimenting or got experimented on. It depends on where the story goes on that one.
Right, because we don't know when he turns into a ghoul. I don't think exactly. Like, if
Yeah,
it's
because like I say, the whole ghoul thing is like a lot of people think that that's they're just radiated and that they were irradiated and that's how they became them. But there's also things that there was ghouls made before, like just like the death calls that like that's all enclave things that they were experimenting on people, just like how the Chinese and the Russian and even us during World War II and World War One were experimenting on humans.
we know he said he
They
went to several vaults. Like this episode, I think he said, he went to different management vaults and found no one in there. So he's been to vaults. So he's been around, and no telling what. Like he might have. I'm curious if he got into a vault at all when the bombs went off or something. Like maybe there was a holding area somewhere that was still away from the radiation. Because I don't know how. Because Vegas seemed to not be hit because he stopped them from dropping. So I don't know the radius of the
There
nukes
was
that
only a couple
actually.
that landed around. I forget what he said it at some point.
Because I don't know
But
how far out you would have to be from the radiation. It seemed like it was widespread, but if the strip was saved to a degree, that means the bombs that dropped on the outside did not fully radiate the
Because
strip.
didn't he say something like there was 13 of them dropped and he stopped 9 of them or something
Mhm.
like that? It was I might be off
Like
with
he
the
was able
numbers.
to save, like I think, just the core of the strip, not the.
Yeah, not the surrounding.
Because even when we watched that little show, it showed some of the little mini, like that one in all right, that one that was left over in 3. That one would have taken out the town, but it doesn't. It only has a certain radius, right?
Yeah,
So I don't know if Cooper somehow got outside of the radius, if he got in a vault, or if he became a ghoul. Then I don't know how. Like I'm trying to figure out his story in the sense of how he became a ghoul and he was able to traverse the wastelands the way he did.
I'm thinking that because the way that he talks with his wife, like she's like, no, we have to go to these vaults. We have to go there. I'm thinking that she and her daughter went to a vault where they were safe and just put in a chamber, while he went to another vault to try to save himself. But there was probably some sort of fuckery at that vault, which made him be what he is. Because all the vaults, they
Mm-hmm.
always act like they're a safe place, but there's always something. I mean, even Mr. House had his own personal one, which was the one on the
Yeah,
strip that he was
and
like,
that's
"Hey guys, you guys
weird.
can gamble."
Why would
And
she do that to him?
well, I
Or
think
did
it
she
has to
know?
do with at the end here. Remember, he's like, "We got to talk," and it probably has to do something with what he's about to talk to her about.
Mm-hmm. And that's messed up. But he doesn't seem like he thinks his wife did anything wrong if he's going after her to save her or to find her. It's
Well, I
almost
think
as if like maybe I think House did
I
something.
think he's more so worried about his daughter.
That's true.
Yeah, because he still seems, even when the way he looks at Lucy, it's still like that. He almost looks at her like that's like his daughter.
It did. It broke his heart to have to make that decision.
Oh yeah.
He did not make that decision like lightly.
Oh no. It was
So he
sad.
definitely started to come around to Lucy, but I don't blame him for making the decision that he did. And I get Lucy's like, you can't trust them because who's to say that they're going to keep their promise to him and keep them wherever they have him anyway. So it's a no-win situation for the ghoul.
Yeah, and he was aware on both things because he's been around long enough, and he's already been through this even before he was the ghoul, where he's been going and it's found out because we don't even know what information he's all found out, besides the fact that his wife is probably the one that was at least she said that, well, maybe we should be the ones to drop the bomb, which that in itself shows a very bad character flaw, like for your
Right.
mother of your child, like that's pretty deep.
It was sad. He was like, the way he was talking is like, it can't be helped. And, family's a fucked up thing.
Yep.
I was sad. Poor Lucy. I know she didn't want it. She just,
It was
I
very sad.
understand she's upset. I hope our ghoul's okay, though. I think he's going to be all right. But that was a hell of a, man, she leveled up a little bit. I'm going to give it to her. But damn it, girl, you just got to understand that wasn't the way.
Right?
Well, fisting seems to be a thing in this episode.
Did you hear? We talked about it a little bit. I kind of gave a brief discussion about it.
No,
I didn't say exactly what Fisto did.
Well, Fisto does what you think Fisto does. That's all I'm going to say about Fisto.
But I do feel bad for my ghoul, though, man. He's trying so hard. And look, man, they had it. They were doing good. They made it all the way to the strip. They passed the death clause. And Daddy figured it out. Man, he figured it out with this piece of shit here. This degenerate motherfucker here. Do y'all remember what he was trying to do last season, Carl?
Yeah, he's the chicken lover.
There you go. Carl remembers. What's up, Jen the teacher? Welcome, welcome. And apparently he is not only is he that, but so throughout this season, and Tex, we gotta go all the way back. Where is it where Daddy knocks out our boy here? Because would you believe it, Tex? It's at a taco stand. Tacos. Tex Zombie. Yeah, shout out to you for the tacos. He was on a date with Fisto.
Yeah,
and it's been a long time, Carl, but he feels bad, but a man has needs. But he's back now.
He had to apologize for his love of chickens, and hopefully Fisto understood.
And apparently, according to my sources, Carl, Fisto in the game, am I correct?
Yeah.
Well, you can go to him for services. And he more than fingers it out, Dana.
Yep, and he'll even give you a freebie.
Sounds that way with a name like that.
All the fingers and then some.
Going deep into the answers.
And apparently this gentleman here is the frequency. Words, Carl. I'm trying to make sure I use the right. Well, he's on a date with him, and as you can see, Lucy's dad comes up to acquire him for some services, and I love his choice of words. Why don't you go wait in the bushes like a normal pervert? There.
That was funny.
Because he's trying to get his Fisto on.
He is. I mean, man's got needs.
It's almost like Hank was his first customer, though, because he's just already there. Kind of weird, Hank.
Hank kind of creeped up on him.
Yeah. He's like, "We doing with Fisto, bro?"
He just got a crowbar. This whole scene here was just fucking creepy. What the fuck is? I'm sorry. Had a taco stand nonetheless. I don't know what made it better, the taco stand or Fisto.
Once it clicked to me that was Fisto, I was like, all along, Fisto's been there.
Well, because I didn't know that was a thing in the game, so I just assumed it was one of the robots, and they were just making a joke on the talk show, the little fake talk show.
Well, it never clicked to me on that show that was actually Fisto. That's why I was like, that's fucking Fisto. That's.
He kept calling it a sex robot.
Yeah. But it made sense. I was like, now I know why, because it's Fisto.
He kept going, do.
All the
I remember
time.
like one of the first ones, the guy was touching its hand and stuff, and he was like, "No, don't do that." He was like,
Yeah.
And now you know why you don't want to touch them. It gives a whole new meaning to all of those episodes of the fake talk show.
You remember how I told you there was figures of the show now?
Mm-hmm.
If they don't have a Fisto, then they're missing out. I need the Fisto figure.
Oh, well, never know. If we get it to Nick L, he might be able to 3D print it for you for the right price.
I don't know if his 3D printers can make something that big.
Well, it could be miniature.
He might have to send it to you in pieces.
We can do mini size, like a keychain. On the go Fisto. It kind of
like a pocket Fisto.
Maybe. But no, Daddy figured it out. This is where again, Daddy's a piece of shit, but he has realized that the ghouls' wife and daughter are here. So we do know where they are now. Mystery on that one checked off. But this was interesting. Look at here. Dude was kind of like, what the fuck? Until he started to play with the buttons. I think our creep here may have liked it a little bit more than he should have. What do you guys think?
Yeah, he was getting excited.
So was Daddy.
Yeah, I think Hank and him had a moment for a minute. Look at Hank's face right there. He's like, huh.
It was a bonding experience.
Dude, look at that face, Carl. It was something.
So it makes me think maybe Hank and Fisto shared some things as well. They were all meant to be.
All meant to be friends.
Let me tell you about my best friend.
Oh, well, hey, hang on. We missed the best part of our guy here. I'm so sorry. I was ahead of myself talking about my best friend, Dana. Look at him. He was all happy. Let's get, let's get lucky tonight.
Right? Battling the roach.
Mm-hmm. But it's
Look,
fine. He was
there's even a little
smelling
rainbow
flowers. Yeah, I got the rainbow. It's coming up. He's picking flowers. First card, he's smelling the flowers. Wait, where's the rain? There's the rainbow. Yeah, there he is. He's walking through. There's the rainbow. And it was great because you see this with like the music of the episode playing. That was some good moments.
He got Fisto his flowers and was on his way.
Mm-hmm. Well, he had to fight the roach too, but it's fine.
Skipped over the death skull.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, it's fine. No worries. Look at him. He's super excited.
It was pretty hilarious when Hank was like, if I had a way of getting rid of all your memories, I mean, every one of them, would you want it? And he didn't even think twice. He's like, yes, please.
Mm-hmm. He's like, yes. Like your motor skills and such will all be intact, but every memory will be utterly erased. Yes, right now, please. So Dana asked earlier too, why do you think this worked? And I'm not really too sure, other than the fact that this dude wanted it, liked it, and he's just a complete and total freak of nature.
I have a theory on that.
Give it
So
to me, Carl.
a lot of these experiments were done with vault people, right? So the vault people didn't have the radiation that he would have. So maybe him being out in the wasteland radiated made his brain a little bit more able to accept like whatever they're doing to it, like if it's energy of whatever it is. So that's why it worked with him and it wouldn't work on the things that were because even the rats they were still not they weren't
They
radiated.
were still somewhat clean.
Yeah. And that was like all these experiments if these came from Enclave originally, they would have not had any of the radiation and the variables of any of that stuff. So that's my theory on that.
Okay. He does seem a little extra.
Interesting.
It could be. I mean, like I said, he is a super extra special sort. He seems to have a lot of different things in his bag, and he seems to have run into a few things. And I just can't believe he was willing to be a meat puppet. That was a new one.
I think he was used to it.
Maybe. It was funny though, as he increased the voltage. He was like, no, 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 no. Yes. It's all good. And Hank, he groomed him right on up. He cleaned him up nicely.
Right? He was all proper and polite.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Look
a whole
at
new
him.
man. You know who he looks like? He looks like the Jehovah Witnesses who come knocking on the door. Like,
Right.
let me tell you about, let me preach to you about the word of our Lord.
And so I think we're going to see a little bit more about the chip as far as how talking about what it is or what maybe it's meant for. But Hank has. So do you think now with Hank? I mean, of course he's getting his daughter, and we've seen in other previews as far as trailers go, where I believe Lucy is about to be, which is at that vault. He's got her in a room because we did see that in the trailers, and we see individuals like himself or Vaulties, which I'm assuming are going to be the Vaulties from Lucy's brother's vault. Possibly, I got to go back in that trailer and really look at who they were when she's walking through, and they're in like a factory type setting where they're taking those chips and moving it back and forth. I think that's
Yeah.
where we're at. The trailer is where we're at this next episode coming up. Because does that mean Mr. House is going to also appear in some form?
I mean, maybe, but there's something that I caught on another thing I watched. At the very end, you know how they show all this stuff in the credits? They did show Mr. House, but his arm was laying out of his pod like he was dead.
Oh, okay.
So
I'll
they
have to
could have
go
just
back
been
and check
throwing
that
that
out.
off just to make us think that he's not there, but that could also be, you know, how we've been seeing all these
Well,
weird
what was the other
transmissions.
guy? What was it? Could it be the other guy that was pretending to be him or somebody like
No,
that? Because he's got alts.
that was when he was in his pod, so that was definitely like Mr. House's pod. That was where he lived in the
Okay.
game, and there was no way of him when you removed him in the game, if he chose to do so, that he would be dead then, because he can't live without being on his life support. Because obviously he's like however many hundreds of years old. But that could have just been to throw us off. But that also could be why we keep seeing these transmissions or whatever them things are. We keep seeing in them.
Right,
They keep
because I would
clicking.
show you, I found more even of him being uploaded in code on those clips. You remember
So
the
that
coding that
could,
was like his
yeah,
face in code?
yeah.
And so I found a lot more of those, which I don't even think I got all of those snippets because, again, matter of fact, we'll just go ahead and go to that. All right, so I showed you guys some of them, but I went back. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I got to get back to this one. All right, this one I believe is the first one. This is again extra content on Amazon Prime. It's in the extras. The last couple weeks they've been doing these, And in this first one, there was a few, and I don't know why. Maybe because it was the first time we watched it, and we were just kind of watching and goofing, and it was late. I just really wasn't paying attention. But it's going through like a video game, kind of talking about um, just the company and stuff like that, and likelihood of total society collapse is at 51%. This number, as we go through these, will change. This number continues to go up as we go through these things. But right about here, it does a glitch flash. And this is actually what we see in the game when we do the coding in the game. We're going to hack a terminal. And as you can see, this person has tried. They got down to 2 out of 5 correct. And I believe they only have 1 attempt left yet before it locks you out of the terminal. And then we get a loading package error. All sorts of who knows overriding. So I don't know if they failed and they're sort of trying to override it. We get this huge error. Again, this is all within like a second maybe. So these frames are flashing really quick. It was great lengths to get them. And then it goes back to the normal game, talking about how, if you're doing these different things and it's mostly just talking about the company. It's all propaganda for the company. But we get these other things, and I think this is part of one of the other glitches again as well. And this is weird. I don't know what in the fuck this is. But remember when House was talking about the map that he was doing to figure out the end of the world? Because this says detonation. And it's raid. I don't know what the fuck all this is. Data. Parent over parent.
Oh, I have no idea.
And then we get Mr. House here in code.
Yeah, to me that almost is like his, like that first one was like almost like his brainwaves, and then you have him.
And then we get back to some more, and this is how it flashes up, and this is more of that coding. But over here, Carl, is the interesting where it says breach. Usually, I've never seen this many question marks on either side of the coding when we're doing it in the game, in the terminals.
Yeah, no, and on the other side there, if you notice, there's a lot of them that looks like, you can pass those, so that's probably just me being full out.
Right, like, but it just seemed slightly different from what we get when we get in the game.
Yeah.
Especially with breach being around with all the questions mark, like all this is normal. The form with all the coding. This is something that you would probably click on to take. It would give you either take something out or give you another chance. Then having another word down here, choose. Yeah. That's all normal. But this over here with the breach, I'm curious, is that like he breached it? I don't know. It was just weird. And then it goes back to this again. But this is the reality map, abstract A Earth, possibility modeling, choice reduction, use of force. So this was in the Flash, I believe. And then later it comes back to this. And it's not, again, I can't remember if this is, I think this is all within that Flash.
All right, them first 3 on the top that you were just clicking on, I know I'm behind, those are like what they would be for the robots, because like, you know how it's like you have to, the robots choose like to use the force or to use whatever you want them to do.
Mm-hmm.
The first 2 wouldn't, like use of force would be like, the Protecticon, you're like activating it to help you or whatever you want it to do. Now the first 2 would be something that isn't normally in any of those Protecticons, though.
And then guess what? We get another Mr. House, Carl.
And all that, I have no clue. Like that, like.
Look at this.
Unless you knew, like that looks like a bunch of garbage, pretty much. Yeah, and then there's Mr. House.
Look at that one. Like this There's 2 of them within this flash.
And see, that one there doesn't look like the one you see on the screen, really. I mean, it does, but it doesn't.
What does it mean? Like he's getting bigger and more? And I don't know. It's creepy as shit.
Like it looks more high tech.
Mm-hmm. And then it goes to user override. Yes. Unified operating systems engaged. Robco Industries. So copyright 2075 to 2077. Whatever all these set files, it's the same version 6.12. And then remain still, and then it goes to take your image. So again, this one's like setting up the Pip-Boy when you first start, and it's telling you about the companies and all the different things, and it goes through all these flashes, and then it goes to take your picture. Like I said, it's setting up your stuff, and then this goes into again telling you more about, well, look, if you used our stuff, then you'll be better at simple tasks, even like juggling. Dude gets kind of like overwhelmed with all of the balls. It started with 12, he's up to 25. And it's again all that math and stuff like they were talking about. House is big into that. Everything is calculated, and I think this is kind of showing how far they calculate things. So much so even to juggling. And let's see, tool fatigue, just all kinds of crazy math. Sorry, I don't even know. And it's telling you your possibility of successful juggling. And then he's telling you to upload the Robco, Juggle Toolkit. And you can be juggling all the balls while fighting off opponents. And again, this is showing off how great sort of having a Pip-Boy is, I believe. And see how happy you would be. Remain under the Robco umbrella. And then and this is where I couldn't get all of them. So it goes to like the dude right here. He starts to pop back out and do like a fist up and stuff. And then it's showing all of these. Again, these are the different robots from Robco. And then it flashes something else that I cannot catch, which I'm assuming is another one of these sort of coding things. And then it flashes again Mr. House's face, and then we get this error: Robco internal use only, fewer data codes again. And that's the end of that one. I believe that is the first one on Prime. And then this week's, all right, so I can even go back and show, let's see. And then we had, this one is, I believe, last week's, where they were downloading the core package to the Pip-Boy, the firmware, and now we're up to 62% likelihood of total society collapse. Remember, we were at 50% or something like that. Again, more propaganda, talking about device overseers, telling you all about the family and such, trying to get you to, again, pay for these things. And continue to upload the data for Robco so that they can continue the data war and all that kind of fun stuff, right? All the propaganda. And I believe I'm going to have to go back and see if I missed any flashes in this one as well. But this is the one where I got something like that one. And this one, and I think I'm missing a few. Where did I put the other ones? I know there were some other ones. Oh, here they are. Wait, no. Where did I'm missing some? Oh, well, that's some riggeriness. They should have been right in here with these, Carl. I'll have to go back and see if I can't find them. I'll put them somewhere else, I guess. Oh, that's weird. That's all right. It happens. But I know this week And it had like the downloads of something like it gave us the date. I know I had that because I showed it last week. But this week, you get Rob something, all the things that are going to be downloaded this week. The video controller version 7.1 fast launch. And we're at 66%. And again, it goes into talking about Mr. Handy on this one. They're going to tell us all about the special offer for you to purchase a Mr. Handy for yourself and all the benefits as the world is ending and labor costs are going to skyrocket. Mr. Handy can do it all for you, and he's faster, and he can take care of all the things around town, so to speak, whether it be good or bad. Mr. Handy is there to take care of it for you. And he's better than the old version, the old Handy models. The 6-handers. I think he's like a 5-hander. And he was better than the 6-handers. Who knows? It's advertising.
They're more handy.
All the handies. And again,
which this stuff is also showing that, like, all this propaganda, we know why he wants everybody to have that stuff at this point, because that's how he really knows everything, because he's keeping an eye through all the Pit Boys, all the handies, all the Protectatrons. He's in them all.
And the personality is 100% customizable, Carl. His agreeableness, favorite color, everything. He can do it all. You make him the way you want him to be. But guess what we're going to get, Carl? Oh, shit. 70% we're up to now. Holy fuck. Error. It's all fucked up. Certain essential transactions may not be conducted automatically. Consult license agreement. Geo collapse. Okay. So, but you can call a number, Dana. It's no worry. There's a hotline. Say help. Listen.
Did you call it?
It's not like it didn't give me a number.
Oh. I was gonna say,
you go to your pit in your Pit Boy. You say help. I believe it's a listen line.
You know, I love when shows do that.
And $4.99 for the first 2 minutes and $2.99 thereafter.
Okay, yeah, never mind.
It's a 900 number, damn it.
Right? Like, do those even exist anymore? Son of a bitch.
It's oh shit. Okay, so we're gonna get an update. 100%.
Is Miss Cleo gonna answer the phone and give me my like psychic, prediction for 2026?
Well, what they're basically telling you is you're gonna call for this helpline to fix the error on your Pit Boy, but it don't matter. They're not gonna do shit. But it's okay. We're back to our advertisement. Whatever this error fuckery was, it's fine. And don't worry about that, folks. Don't look at that. Look at this. Choose from 3 preset styles, Dana. Orderly, nanny, and torturer.
That's interesting.
But everybody needs a torturer.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, I mean, it's apocalypse, Dana. You never know what you might need.
Very true.
You don't want to limit yourself. And with Mr. Handy, you're not limited.
I will be right back. I just gotta let Nico out.
No worries. So we got Robco Industries warning. What does it say? Irrationality causes unnecessary energy expenditures. Increased likelihood of failure. Use of product beyond absence. Horizon can result in confiscation or robot entrance. Did they make up words? Or is this thing fucked?
Infringement.
Where did you get an L? That's an I. SIGENCE.
Because I can barely see the shit.
INTRANSCE. SIG.
Agents. I don't fucking know. Yeah, they're making shit up again.
Intransigence and transient. No, that's not right. That can't be correct.
Yeah, I don't know. That seems like, I don't know.
Here, hang on. I don't know if that helps. All right. Use of product beyond, say it with me, obsolescence. Is
Obsolete.
that even a real word?
Obsolete.
Tell me right now that he's just fucking with us.
Obsolete sounds like a word at least. But intransient. I don't know. Intransigent.
Words are indeed hard, folks.
Words are hard.
Damn it, Dana left us. She could
then.
actually probably tell if that's a word or not. She could tell us. Oh, shit. So there's words there that apparently we're not sure. It is idiocracy. I said the not sure thing. That's what dude called himself, not sure. Oh, we're falling fast, Carl. You know, we'll ask Dana what she thinks when she gets back. But look, we get Mr. House again. They just keep showing it to us, and we get lots of things, Carl. Again, more of that, the system debug command, all the things, right? It's running through. And remember all those dates we got on like the first one? Well, we get the same and then some. I don't remember how many more of these. I need to go back and find the image and compare it. See how many more of these we get past the Waganda.htm. But we get a new date down here. We get a 10/12/2045. That's interesting. I mean, it's at 12:09, and these are files and all the bits that are being, I'm assuming, either downloaded or transferred or something. And to computeronline.com. And I wish I knew shit about computers when it comes to this part of them, Carl. Because this is, again, one of those weird glitch flashes. And it just gives us all the stuff. And it gives it to me twice because it does it. It flashes to this code again, going through this whatever debugging commands and such, writing the bits and such, back to the dates that these things were done. Oh, Dana, you're back? Mm-hmm. Okay, hang on. Please tell me you can see this on the screen. The words.
The words? Yes.
What is this? OBSOLEC or SCENCE?
Obsolescence?
Okay. What the fuck does that mean?
Sounds like it's almost trying to say obsolete or...
Right, but it's making up a word?
I don't know. Hold on. Obsolescence. The process of becoming obsolete or outdated and no longer used. Computers are infamous for their rapid obsolescence.
Did we learn? How you going? Oh shit, we're retarded, Carl. What is this last one down here?
In transition. Hold on. Let's see what that one
was. Was it in transitions?
Intransigence? That's what it seems like. Yep, it's a word. Okay, so intransigence. Yep. Okay, had to like sound that out. Okay. Refusal to change one's views or to agree about something. Opponents accused him of intransigence. And I still can't fucking. Damn it, Jen, the teacher. She was just in here. Damn it.
Words are hard.
Oh my god. I told you we needed data. So what it said was, oh god, I have to reread this again.
It's basically saying if you use the robot wrong, we're going to take the robot.
Yes.
It needs Windows update.
It needs a Windows update. A fucking Windows
Glad
update till the end of time, man. I swear
Glad
to
I
God.
could be of assistance. I don't always, have that pleasure.
Well, I'm telling you, they were almost about to tongue tie me here, Dana. It was irrationality causes unnecessary energy expenditure, increased likelihood of failure, use of product beyond obsolescence, horizon can result in confiscation or robot intransigence.
Close enough.
Needs a Windows update. It's all right. We got it.
We figured it out.
English language sucks.
Let's see, Dana, and then we get some more of this really flashy stuff that's weird with more coding I don't understand. And we get those dates again, but there are a little more dates with more things, I believe, uploaded possibly, along with another date, 10/12. Instead of just 12/31, we get a 10/12 of 2045 at 12:09 p.m.
All right. I'm saying that this is more than likely house, but there is another computer thing. I seem to remember on one of the episodes, didn't Cooper mention that he was talking to a person named Calculator? But Calculator isn't a person. That's the Enclave computer that they use. And I believe part 1, maybe part 2.
That would be interesting.
I think I remember he was talking over on the phone or something, maybe. I could really remember wrong, but I'm pretty sure he said something about Calculator.
Oh, maybe. I
Now,
have to go back and see.
now, if House is which I don't think he would be aware of that because he's saying there's an unknown variable. That could be the unknown variable that he's really that he doesn't know. But that's what was controlling a lot of the experiments early on in the Enclave days. And I believe that had something to do with the death calls, actually. I could be wrong on that. I could be thinking a little bit ahead. But I'm pretty sure that Calculator was like, because that was like the first version of like the president dude that you met in 3. That was like a different version of that. But I think that Cooper said something about Calculator. And if that's the thing that they are bringing around, that would be the only other computer type thing. Well, obviously it's a big supercomputer, so that would be something that, and Mr. House could be inside that because he didn't make any of that.
Right.
So that would definitely be an unknown variable. I'd have to go back and look at the scene I'm thinking to know if that's what, but I'm pretty sure I heard him say something about the calculator. Which at the time I was like, well, is he talking about like a calculator, like a calculation, or is he talking about that?
Right. I found that image. So this one over here on the left was the first one, and it goes down to that Waganda HTML. And then we get the second one. So that was the first one over here, and then this is what we have up to date. Well, here's the Waganda.htm, and then we get X copy. What is that? A dozer? All kinds of HTMs. I don't know what any of those are, but that is again what they're kind of flashing in those quick little flashes. I'm assuming they're going to continue that throughout until the end of the season. But I don't know what to make of it, Miss Dana.
computer stuff.
But ain't that's weird though? Like they're putting it in there, and it's not like it's something you have to like. You have to ask Carl how hard it was for me to stop to get that.
Yeah, they're literally like less than a frame. Like,
So why? I mean, it has to have. I mean, of course, just something fun for us to check out to put together. But again, it reminds me of all the other things that we've done, whether it be evil or what have you, where they give you something and it does have some sort of meaning. I haven't looked into it online to see what other people have said about it.
I haven't seen anybody say anything about any of these. I mean, I haven't looked too far, but like I've not seen anybody mention this at all.
All right, so I don't know what it means, guys, but if you know, definitely let us know in the chat or in the comments after, because I'm curious to know what it means, and I can't completely figure it out other than, I mean, yes, it looks like somebody's running something. They're trying to, some of those where they were hacking into a terminal, and now the terminal's going, I guess if this is the same terminal, it's going through all these different debug commands, it's trying to possibly upload or transfer some bits there, and then it has, of course, house popping up in it in code is interesting as far as us trying to figure out where house is in present day Fallout. But we'll have to wait and see, I guess. Again, if you guys have any ideas, let us know, because I have no idea completely where they're going with it. But it's fun to see. And again, as they've gone through, the likelihood of total social collapse has increased up to 70% as of this week. And we'll just have to see. But I do like it either way as an extra content. Not even just whatever this stuff is supposed to be, but when I first started watching it as just the extra content of like a little video talking about Robco and all that kind of stuff on your Pip-Boy and everything. It was kind of cool in and of itself. But yeah, let's see what else we got in the episode. And yep, and there is Mr. Cooper as he fell down off of the rocket. And I think you said something about that too, right? The rocket he ends up kind of riding on in Vegas as he's getting wasted, trying to figure out what to do with all the information he's gotten.
But yeah, him riding the rocket was like a little Easter egg of Doctor Strangelove. You know what that is, Dana? I'm pretty sure you probably do.
Yes.
That's what that whole thing is a nod towards.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And it makes sense because, you know, the dropping of the bomb and all that.
Mm-hmm. And I like how they put him having to deal with this moment with Lucy in between him and the fall that he has here with the fall that he ends up having of Lucy kind of taking him out with the power fist. And I felt sad for my ghoul. I don't like having these feelings, Dana, but I felt for my ghoul.
Oh yeah,
it was like the other side of the coin. My bad, Dana.
No, I was just gonna say you did. Like, I actually, this is the first time I was just like, oh no, they can't. He's got to be okay. He's got to be okay. Like, I was like, he's got to be okay. I understood why Lucy did what she did, but I kind of got a little mad at Lucy because I was like, she's got to understand where he's coming. His goal is his wife and daughter. Just like your goal is your father. If the roles were reversed, she would have done the same thing to him.
Mm-hmm. And I know she wants what she wants, and she doesn't. She sees it as a betrayal. But yeah, I feel like she messed up a little bit. Now Daddy's got her, but she just don't learn. She don't listen.
Right? It's like, okay, go back to the vault and regroup. Like, let him think you're kind of doing what he wants, and maybe you guys can figure something else out. But I thought that was a little. She jumped the gun with pushing the poor ghoul out the window.
Mm-hmm.
But that also shows the Fallout way of like the choices that you make can give you.
And she had a few.
And to her, that was her choice. She has to finish her mission, and he had to finish his.
I get that, but I feel like her naivety made her like overreact in that moment. like she's so not Vice in the world that the ghoul is. Like I just feel like she jumped the gun in that moment. She
Mm-hmm.
didn't have to push the dude out the window. She could have smacked him, punched him, kicked him a little bit, but she didn't have to throw the dude out the window.
Right.
Yeah, well, she's never even used the power fist, so she didn't even really know.
How bad it was gonna be.
So
But I don't know. I think she was hoping she was gonna knock the shit out of it. I don't
yeah,
think she
she
knew he was
wanted
gonna
to.
fall and land on that.
Yeah, on the one
Um,
spike that was mysteriously there.
right. Which again, they kind of it was the way they tied it in with him falling off the rocket and his wife coming to get him, and he's still like he's kind of like it's like he's reliving it while he's doing it. It was weird, but it was a really good
Yeah, it was
kind of
really good
moment.
writing on that. Like I said, especially if you know the Doctor Strangelove thing, it's kind of like the same thing in a way. He's on the spike. His whole world is ending there too.
Mm-hmm. And right here, him and his wife now having come to the realization of the parts that they're playing, and yeah, it was a good little moment. See how Deer says it would be cool if they add content to a Fallout 3 slash New Vegas game remaster that ties into the show. Apparently, a remake is being worked on, but I'm not sure if it will be Fallout 3 or New Vegas. Okay.
Supposedly it's supposed to be three, and all the content they're doing with the show right now is all going in '76. Pretty much, they just released Lucy and the Ghoul in '76,
Oh,
and
so
it's
they are going to full on tie it in.
yeah. I think it's just a character you can be at the moment, but like I said, that's supposed to be before the others, so it kind of makes sense that they would be around that time frame.
And in the games, have they ever said exactly who started Fallout?
No, that's always been a debate of like what really happened.
So they're going to probably make the show be the reveal of that, you think?
I personally, I don't think they're ever going to tell you exactly. They're kind of hit. I think that's a
They're
thing that they
playing with it
shouldn't
in this
do.
episode.
Well, that's what they do in the games too. They play like you can think that the corporations did it. You can think that the commies did it. But I think in the show they're kind of making it more like it's a combination of all of them.
Hmm.
Like the corporations forced the hand, so the corporation can do what they wanted to do.
It's just, I don't know. It's weird. I'm wondering if they're going to make Cooper be part of it in some way. Like, not directly, like he pressed the button.
Yeah. Well, I
Um,
want to see if that thing he like I was talking about the calculator because if he's aware of the calculator, that means he was Enclave the whole time.
right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, because the way House is saying whatever Cooper does kind of changes the outcome or the end date according to his calculations. Makes me wonder if Cooper's more involved with it, whether he's fully aware or not.
Yeah, but he might just still be working for certain people that are pushing the buttons as well.
Right. Well, poor Lucy, the daddy got her. And he is holding, daddy does hold on to family. Like I said, I think we're going to see her in that, I'm assuming, in the vault now. He's going to take her back to that vault. He's not going to traverse all the way through the wastelands. And so she did make it to daddy in the vault, one way or another. She just didn't have to do that to the ghoul. It was just a little bit extra. But, you know.
But
But
in
I,
a way, that could have saved him as well because like now he's seemingly
'cause I don't
he's
think that's
gone.
going to kill him, right? I don't know the full
No,
rules on the ghouls.
most ghouls can heal from things, especially if they get the right meds. You know, so they can overtake the meds to do whatever that man needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
But that also put him out of the way, so he's not going to, just be fully eliminated. So in a way, she might have saved him.
Okay. Because I can't wait because we still have a few other parties that may be making their way there as well. Someone might help our ghoul friend out. But look, our other vaulties are doing just fine. They have made their way back to. I guess this would be the one that Barbara worked at. The one that I guess he goes to when he sees the meeting and stuff. The one.
Yeah,
This is
because
where he would drop her
remember,
off out front.
when they're actually in her office because they pick up a picture of her
Right.
kid.
So this is the stomping grounds where Cooper's wife worked. Where we see him, I'm assuming, upstairs in one of the top floors when they're having the meeting. And his wife is talking about the end of the world plans and the vaults. And we see Liar Liar in the background. And I'm assuming that's talking about probably one of the vaults that they had. But guess what we do have? Our old friends. And well, actually, before we get to them, this was funny too. They poked the chick that or the person that's like the front desk person, like, oh, she's still at her post. Janet never left. But our boy here, he does get something. He's ready to craft a weapon, Carl.
Yeah, which is pretty funny because the fan is a thing.
I know you told me that. I was like, oh, that's a thing. I was like, oh, that's cute. He's like, oh, I need to craft a weapon. Grabs the fan. But check them out. They made it all the way to New Vegas themselves after the craziness back there in Philly. Barb and parties are still doing good. And he gets an update on his sister. And we get to find out what's behind this lovely door here. Would you believe it? It's just a roach farm, Dana.
Who wants to farm them things?
Well, you can actually eat them, the meat.
Okay, I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah, it's just like
I don't know which is worse, the flea soup or like what is it, roach on a stick? Like what are we talking about?
It's just roach meat.
Yeah, we get iguana on the stick.
Yeah.
Fun.
Or you can have the can of beans that she's eating.
I would take the beans, I guess.
Did you see what that shit looked like fucking dog food.
Oh
you get
no.
that too sometimes. You're lucky.
Mm-hmm. That's why they say the Vaulties are soft, because the food they have is nothing like the food of the wasteland. They don't. Yeah.
And for the record, I think I'd rather eat the roast meat than the flea soup.
Oh yeah, the flea soup is definitely at the bottom of the pile of things I'd like to eat in the world of Fallout.
Imagine the texture on that.
Mm-hmm. You know, jumpy. Is it like Pop Rocks when it's popping around in your mouth?
It'd be like the Japanese eat what they call the live little shrimps they eat that pop around.
No, that sounds so appetizing. Let me tell you.
It'd be all poppy.
Well, they were fresh fleas.
The fresher the better, I guess.
Especially in the wastelands. And see, and they got their own little roach farm here, and they're almost ready for market. Almost. Yeah, pretty much. What do you get the mole rat meat? Pretty much all the creatures, even I know the scorpions. I don't know if they give you any meat.
No, they just give you the venom. I mean,
That's
technically,
right.
I guess you could eat them if you really want to be technical. Big roach or rat, scorpion claw. So you get the dog meat. You get the mole rat.
Oh, you get to? Do I get any from the little crab people?
Yeah, you do get
Murloc meat. I think you get Murloc meat. And what about those other?
And the eggs.
When I don't remember if I got it from them other swamp creature things, whatever it look like damn Loch Ness monster or some shit.
And then you get the bugs, but I don't think one of the bugs give you the meat.
Bot flies? I think the bot flies do.
I think.
No, is it bot flies or what are they? They're big flies.
Well, the bot flies are the ones that give you the gland, and then there's the.
Yeah, Dana, you know how much you love bot flies.
And I'm about to get off. I'm about to get off. Keep conversating, and I'm taking my headphones off, and I'm fucking muting everything.
She's been traumatized. And
you can signal me when it's safe to.
We had an episode of Evil where these bot flies burst out of a chick.
Oh, that's great.
Ugh, God.
You just gotta squeeze them out.
Shut up. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm done with this conversation.
All right. Well, but our lady here has, she's letting him know that the slim odds for Lucy is she's in con territory and such. But, she told him, look, man, if y'all want to go find out there, just go back home, get you some supplies. Just go home. The wasteland ain't for Vaulties. You're just too soft. But our boy, I think he's going to go find his sister now because he's aware his sister is still out and about. And, I did love this little moment between the two of them. Like, are you some fucking Samaritan now? She's like, shut up, Barb. I'm just trying to be a better person. Trying to get them karma points, Carl.
And sometimes you gotta keep them up.
Right. And she knew. But I do like these two. At least they are kind of continuing, allowing them as part of the storyline to a degree. The fact that she was the one to kind of help Lucy, I don't know if I want to say help, but get Lucy on her way, and she kind of does the same for the brother. I'm assuming Lucy and her brother, maybe if not this, by the end of this season, next season, they should be meeting up at some point.
Yeah,
And I can't wait to see how he feels with Daddy. I'm sorry.
No, I said I like how she had the accessories of all the forks because you know how many times you pick them stupid things up and you're like, these damn forks, these things.
You know about the beans?
No, the old girl had them like around her neck. She had like the accessories of all the forks.
Oh, the forks. Yeah, all the fucking bullshit that you can find on the ground and shit.
That you just like, you can tell she's been out there. She found all the forks.
Mm-hmm.
And what is that, some bone?
I don't know what the fuck she's got on. She's got all kinds of little bits. It could be a bone. I don't know. Is it a finger? She might have found a finger. That's a thing. And she just hanging them on her necklace and shit. Well, she was a little harder than the other one, so maybe she was. I don't know. You may not want to fuck with her too much.
Yeah, she's seen some things.
Right? Let's see. I can't tell what that is. I was trying to see if I could.
Sounds like some sort of bone. I can't tell. Horn or something.
I don't know if that's not a better one. Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, either way, she got all the watches too. I mean, I don't know if they work, but
hey, you gotta trade. You know that works. You gotta get them
all the trading. They had quite a bit of stash here. I mean, they did have quite a shop, so I guess they packed up as best they could. And they called this what, their squat?
Yeah, and obviously they were coming back for the roaches, so they're just like, take what you want and get the hell out of here.
Yeah, just don't touch my roach farm.
And they had the little bit of greenery growing over there, which is probably like the tomatoes or whatever.
Yeah, it looked like tomato plant or something like that. It says they're making their way in the wasteland. They're doing just fine, all parties. And I did love when Miss Lucy does actually get to go to Sunny's and detox. But before she does, she has some decisions to make, Carl, and she chooses the back door.
Sometimes that's the best way. I love the prices. It's like they're on sale. No, they're not. They're almost up. Cool.
I know, like, she didn't have enough caps. So she, went in and look, she just grabbed the one. She could have grabbed all the buff out and shit. This shit, Carl.
Not to mention all the handguns and all that other stuff. It's like,
well, I mean, you can only grab so much. She had to get this. You might as well if your hand's in there. I mean, her
backpack looks pretty empty to me, is all I'm saying.
Well, she grabbed the power fist.
Of all the things that I hate that weapon. I would have picked up machine guns and of all the things.
But she had some other guns. I think she needed ammo and a rocket launcher.
But it was all there.
Well, I think she probably would have grabbed a few bits more had this lovely individual who was not Sunny. You can see by this picture. Once, she took him out. If that lady hadn't walked in, she could have had the pick of the litter there, but in time.
Yeah, and I guess it would have been one of them moments where the whole town would have been like, what are you doing?
Right. I mean, she was good at this point when she took him out, because he took out the Sunny.
And it's hilarious how that dude's like, no, I'm Sonny. Yeah, look, my
He's out
face
of
fitting is
town.
fine.
What about this dude here? Oh, that's the guy that tried to rob us. Where's his clothes at? Hmm.
And that's another Lucy moment. It's like, why would she just straight call him out instead of being like, let's work on your bartering or whatever you want to work on here real quick, Lucy. I mean, you know,
Well, she was good at her shot.
she's just like, no, your clothes fit fine, bro.
You don't touch
It's
that
like,
weapon, sir. Sir, I'm gonna have to maim you, sir. Sir, I'm sorry. Tried to tell you. You're a hell of a shot.
yeah, with the little 32.
Mm-hmm. She doesn't know who she is anymore. And he only takes caps too. No refunds. You break it, you buy it.
That's on all their things.
And this poor lady, she had to break the news to her. To be fair, I mean, no, Lucy wouldn't do it. It's fine. She made it out with what she needed. That's all that mattered.
And, she could have been like, yo, you take what you want, I'm taking what I want. Let's go. That would have at least,
Well, I know,
you know,
right?
just don't leave the doors. Just take what you want before I leave.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm leaving before you, and then I'll see you later.
And peace out, right?
But I'm sure she wouldn't have had no problem with that. She'd have been like, nice.
Well, I
Like,
wondered. I didn't know if she worked there or not. I didn't know if she was like a helper or something, or she was just a customer.
I guess that's a point.
They didn't really make it clear, so I was like, I kind of assumed both, but I wasn't sure which one.
And they even have the stupid fishing rods in the corner.
Mm-hmm. I had all kinds of shit in that shop too. So when I saw the drugs there, I was like, Lucy, just grab a few more. It's fine. Go back.
Well, I can understand the drugs because she doesn't want to take them anymore. I mean, but she could have, I guess, helped her friend.
But no,
Why would
there's
she
still,
do
I'm
that?
sure there's good things here. There could have been some rat away or something. I don't know. There's all kinds of shit down here.
But I mean, weapons at the very most, that's a number one that you want.
But I mean, but this could have easily fit in her bag real quick.
There's the right away down there.
Was it down there?
You know,
But yeah, I mean, I'm just saying she could have grabbed a few things. It wouldn't hurt nobody. I mean, the owner's already gone, and this stuff's just sitting here. I mean, she was willing to grab this.
yeah, her decision making isn't that isn't a good one of her specials.
And it didn't work out. I mean, it worked kind of, but not really. It didn't work out for her because in the end, Daddy got her. Well, all kinds of shit in this shop, man. Look at all these guns right here. The old big boy was trying to get up on. I mean, he grabbed a little one, but there was all kinds over here on the side. Shit. I mean, he didn't even care. And him thinking he could put that damn shirt on to make him think all the belly, look, all the.
And the hat's pretty fucking hilarious.
You're in the stretch marks, gentlemen. There's some nice ones there.
Sexy.
You gotta get that cocoa butter out. But again,
Oh
I
yeah,
think this episode they had all the fisting, so I guess
yeah, all the belly. But no, let's see. Well, Lucy, she's in a predicament. That's for sure. Our poor ghoul. But our Vaulties are trying to figure it out. And there's the two dudes again. And I don't like him at all. He's a piece of shit.
yeah, I think that they're going to be a little bit more, especially since they showed them back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So there's more to their story that we're going to find out.
Right.
Her, on the other hand, I think she's just cannon fodder at this point. Like, old boy will probably save her because they got whatever little connection they made, but I think she's pretty. Because I believe what they're going to do is probably leave him choked out.
He's
for
like, so I
whatever
was wondering if they're gonna leave him choked out or if they're gonna
that's
actually
what I'm
like,
thinking on that.
because I think dude's gonna have to explain to him like he's not. He's like, oh, he was just faking it. Well, that's his word against his kind of thing.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're gonna come full on just listen to dude or not.
I would assume
Um,
she's going to be left with him,
is
and they're
she?
going to
I
go
think he
on their
didn't try
way.
to go
Or this,
after her. He let her kind of walk by him.
but she
He
knows
didn't seem to
though.
care. I know, so I'm curious to see
So,
what he's gonna do with her.
but that's just my gut feeling saying that's what will happen. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he'll keep her for a bargaining chip of his own, like for Hank,
Maybe.
because he seems a little bit more on the darker side than the other Volties to even go choke him out. Because the other ones probably would have just stood there.
Right. No, he grabbed that cord right out and
Yeah,
was ready to take him down.
almost like
He
he
was
was in something involved in something else before he was a Volt.
right. Oh, that was Lucy. But our boy did get to find out a little bit about what upper management was doing. We didn't get to find out much because dude pulled the cord on it, but I wonder if our guy's still alive, if he's going to be able to sort of find out any more information about what, because that was from, again, Cooper's wife's computer.
And see, having that in her computer kind of is telling you exactly who she's really working for.
Right.
Now, could she just be having that and not really working directly with it for them? Maybe. But more than likely, if she knows about that virus, that's their thing.
Right.
That's always been their thing.
That's definitely not good. And if that has anything to do with, I have to go back and double check, but I was curious to see if it had anything to do with particularly Lucy's vaults, or if that's they're just trying to say they're going to put that out there, sort of for everyone. Like they were trying to put that stuff in the water supply when I was playing 3.
Well, yeah, they've always been doing something like the very first Fallout. The way that the antagonist got created was through that. Like he fell into a vault, and that's how our boy Harold, the tree guy, he was there too, and that's how he first got the tree in his head.
Okay.
But he was a thing that's been all the way through, well, to 3. I'm not sure if he continued on or not, but at least to 3.
And there's
But,
no telling if they were to release that, what that would do to the population.
well, there's been different versions of it. That's what I've been saying all along, like about how the super mutants are made, how the death claws were made. There's only some creatures that were created through rats, like the scorpions and some of the insects. They're natural, but the
Right.
majority of all the man-made ones, there's even some that I forget what all the names of them are, but there's some in 76 that run around that like have like a little head and shit. I forget what they're called, but there's quite a few of them that were all made by different because as time went on, you had different people picking up the virus. Like the first, like the master wanted, he made super mutants. He wanted to make the master race pretty much, and that was the pure virus pretty much. And he was dipping people in it, and then there's different versions as people worked on it, and they all had different effects. That's why we have so many different kinds of mutants.
Right. I think even like depending on, I went to that one spot and they ended up becoming kind of like a different in the pit.
Yeah.
They were sort of a different breed of mutants. Based off whatever, I forget what that was down there that kind of messed with them.
That was whatever was, but I think that went into the water somehow or something on that one.
Something, I'm trying to remember exactly how they described that one, but that kind of lets you know that there was different ways that these things sort of.
Or just like the mutant that you found in the
Yeah.
vault. He was, that whole vault ended up. That's what they ended up turning that into. Is they was using that virus, and he was one of the few that survived. That's why when you was walking around, you seen like different experiments. Like
Right, you spelled like the kind of like the what were they, Sentinels or no, not Sentinels, but
the centaurs or whatever they're called.
yeah, the weird
Yeah,
things that were spitting at you and shit.
yeah, that was one of the first ones too that was made by the masters as well.
Right. They had a few different things in there. Like some of the things were already let out, or the experiment was whatever it happened to it, and then some of them were still had the experiment in there, and you could like terminate it or not.
And the ones that were created by the master that had the stealth boy technology that you find in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Those were some of the original ones, and those ones were more of what I guess you would say pure than like some of the other ones. Like what the Institute was doing in 4, their virus was way different, and their mutants actually kept growing instead of staying like like a super mutant, and some of them being
Mm-hmm.
smart. None of those that really were smart. They just became brute power, literally.
Right, because I think I met smarter ones over here in Vegas than what I seen over in DC.
Yeah, you'll see that's because in Vegas, like I said, you'll see a lot of them from the original game,
Right.
so they're a different kind.
So
And that's
yeah, they
why some of them
definitely were
have different
screwed. All
colors.
these vaults and the corporations and all these different entities were definitely doing some experimentation of all kinds. Even that one creature we get to see what in the season 1 when Lucy and Dude goes to the one vault and it's got the creature that she encounters outside, the water creature.
Yeah, apparently that's something that you see in '76 as well. Which I
And
wasn't
so
sure
they show
exactly
it.
what
They're
that
showing off
was.
the creatures for sure, and the experiments if you're paying attention to kind of what's going on. And you know the lore, you'll see like, and they kind of hit on it. You know, she's talked about the experiments, and I kind of hope we get to see a little bit more of the vaults. I wish they would do a little vault exploration, but I know that's probably going to be not as easy to do in the series because she's centering on her mission and such. But it would be cool to see some other vaults.
Yeah, and it's more likely that you'll just see some of the stuff on the computers, just like in the game, that we don't really like. We explore some of them. Like I
Mm-hmm.
think there was the one that they went to earlier in this season was one that we got to see, and we got to see exactly what the actual experiment was, where they had the Chinese people in it.
Right.
We didn't know that in the game. It was just like a random vault that was there.
And that was pretty cool because, like I said, you get to at least see one of the vaults and kind of where it was at. And then we get to see a vault that was, last season that was still intact. But you kind of get to see what happened or what the vault was like before the revolt of that vault, I guess you could say. And it turned into more of a communal vault.
Yeah, because
But,
supposedly the only vault that actually the experiment actually worked was the one that was in Vegas, the gambling one. All the
mm,
others, something happened to make them either leave or they all died or whatever happened to that vault.
right.
I mean, I guess 77, but that's a weird vault because they just put one person in there with some puppets. But that's a totally weird thing.
Well, didn't Raiders get in some of them, or was that never a thing?
Some of them had got rated out eventually, but like most of the time they got rated like later because they didn't
The
make it
vault
past,
collapsed?
yeah,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, depending on what the experiment was.
Right. hmm I'm trying to think of what else we had in the episode, but no, I think it's going pretty good actually. Because this episode, I was worried about the longevity of the series as far as like the main story and where they were going to take it. Because we knew they once she kind of got to Daddy, um, there because they had stuff going on with the Brotherhood, but as far as Lucy's main story and how she was going to connect with that power source that the Brotherhood was dealing with, they didn't quite fully connect that. But this episode kind of connects it with the Ghoul a little bit more, and with House and whatever her dad is working on for House. So they've kind of and them also talking about who that third party is, leading us to think there's going to be some more players they can introduce. So they've at least kind of helped out, I think, for the longevity to give us a little bit more threads to go on. because now it's not just okay. Yeah, she's going to find Daddy, but now she's found Daddy. What is she gonna do? Is she gonna help Daddy? Is she gonna take down Daddy? What is House gonna pop up? And then are we ever gonna see who that third maybe player is? Is it the Enclave, or is it something totally, some other dark secret entity that's not even being revealed in the games? Since
Yeah.
they are talking about adding this as canon, and even possibly rumored by the 5th season, Fallout 5 would be out. So, I mean, they might. I'm not saying they would ever tell who officially started Fallout or not, as far as like who was the one behind dropping the bombs or getting things into motion, if they're ever going to say that or not. But the series, with them dropping the games like that, I mean, I could see them at some point doing it as a possibility, but they may not. They may always keep that a sort of a mystery or a secret, kind of for you to determine who you think it is.
And like I said, that's always been a thing. Like, and in this, they're exploring way more of the corporations. I mean, we've had some things like with the Nuka Cola thing and like things like that. That's always said, that these corporations were doing certain things to make sure that their longevity lasts, just like Mr. House does. And that's why we have caps and things of that nature. That's that's the thing that's still around.
Mm-hmm.
But the actual bombing, I think they should keep that as it is, though, because that's just a good thing to. I mean, does the corporations really run things, or does the government run it? That's kind of one of those things.
Right. I don't know. We'll see. And then we still have Maximus, with his new friend or old frenemy, now friend. They're gonna make their way somewhere. I mean, they have the power source. They have the thing, right? Where, and I'm assuming if House were still alive, he would want to get his hands on that. And he's got sort of spies everywhere. So I'm wondering if at this point, if rumor has gotten out about that, because they've produced some of the power cells or the fusion cells or whatever with it already. We know that all those chapters know about it. That the whatever is left of the New California Republic, I guess, or maybe it was the Commonwealth or whatever the pilot was with, that they're aware that there was a meeting with this stuff going on. So how long until rumors out that, because they know that they found it back there in Philly, or around wherever they were at when the
Yeah,
Brotherhood and them had all that stuff go down. So it's got to be out there that power source is being dealt with or being processed or whatever on that technology. And House, obviously they show it with him. So I don't know. I would assume he would want that also with his little project that Hank's working on. I'm hoping we get to see House pop up here. Oh, and we also have the Legion, right? So this was episode 5, so we have 6, 7, 8. We got 3 episodes to go for a season, and we haven't seen much else with the Legion
yeah.
or
We
the
don't know what
Brotherhood.
happened after their. I think in the next few episodes we're going to end up seeing what happened with all their Civil War things.
I said 3 episodes. I know next episode we're going to see Lucy with her dad at that vault.
Well, if they were in if they were in the desert and near Area 51, they're not too far off from Vegas.
Right.
So they're
They were
definitely
I'm
in
assuming
the
they would be
same
going there
vicinity.
next. As far as like maybe the next big town, maybe. I don't know. So we'll have to see, because like I said, they got 3 episodes to sort of wrap up whatever they're going to do for this season. They may not show House. House might be next season. They might even tease it at the end of the season, like Hank getting in touch with House in some form, but not us actually physically getting to see him. And then you got Lucy's brother, Maximus. The ghouls kind of now hurt. So all these characters kind of are going to, I'm assuming, having to converge at some point. But I don't know if they're going to let Lucy's brother meet up this season, or if that's going to be a next season thing. I'm assuming Maximus and Lucy are going to get together and possibly reunite with the ghoul by the end of the season. But I don't know if she's going to get with her brother or not.
Yeah, I'm
Really?
thinking that her brother might be a next season thing, maybe because, like I said, I think they're just pretty much abandoning him, and he's gonna have to make his own way. That might be how they're gonna work that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure that Maximus and the Ghoul and her will, because they tend to like to have things end as it began. So
Right.
that seems to be something they would at least want to do, because at the beginning they was all together, so at the end it seems like something which I do like that the way they do that kind of thing. Like, because even in the first season, it didn't really like the whole enclave thing and all that didn't really make as much sense, but it's kind of making more sense at this point, and it's starting to point to certain directions. And
Right.
like I
Because we
said, the
haven't
Mr.
seen
House
much of the
thing,
Enclave since, what, the
yeah,
first episode? Or
pretty much. I mean, the dog is about the only thing we have
right.
that points to them at all. Well, now we
You
have the
assume they're
body.
lurking if House is talking about all that stuff with the death claws.
Yeah, but he does. He didn't seem to know what. I mean, maybe he does now, because it
Right.
almost seems like at this point House has used the text clothes if he's still around. Like I said, at the end of this episode, they showed his arm hang out, which could just mean that he's been transferred or not. I don't know, but because he would needed the power device to do that, unless he got power some other way. Because that's what he was talking about to him back in the past. Like he wanted to be the robot, and he had that technology to change himself to do that.
And that guy took that technology from the Enclave as if it was one of a kind. Like, it wasn't like they were just producing those little chips.
Yeah, and that's usually the way that most of the enclave experiments in general are. Like you'll have this group working on this group working on that, and that's why they have different results for different things. Even the armor, like that's why their armor was so different than like
Mm-hmm.
the other armors and
They even had
stuff.
like that electrical armor or whatever. It was all
Yeah,
kinds of souped
the
up and
Tesla
shit.
armor.
It was nice looking. It was some nice looking. I ain't gonna lie, them suits are nice. I mean, they seem like pieces of shit in the show, but man, in the game, they weren't that bad.
Yeah, even like the Hellfire and all that stuff. That's why they were all made,
Oh, yeah.
different groups. But
But maybe those were better suits, because I did get the best suit in 3 or whatever, didn't I? The one that never diminishes. Or I got one of
yeah,
them, anyways. I
the
don't know if it was
P
the best, but it
whatever.
was good as fuck. Because I, like, never had to fix it. I never had to repair it when I was playing with it. And that was pretty sweet.
And the Enclave also had like they was more into the alien stuff and all that kind of technology as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
So
Yeah, remember
that's
they had it at their base. They had all kinds of alien shit on their base. And they was messing with all kinds of stuff. They was even more than sometimes what the vaults had going on, technology wise. Because they had all kinds of shit when I went to their base. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with our guys. And of course, we're still, I'm assuming, going to get some more maybe flashbacks with because they show that in what's to come for the next episode, him talking to Barbara a little bit, her saying like she's not the worst one, leading us to think that she, of course, she knows a lot more. They've already led us to believe that she is in a little bit too deep, but again, is it just because she really is trying to save her family, or is she a monster?
or a little bit of both.
It's true. I'm not sure. She likes to put them tears on though when she couldn't get that keepsake box to be filled.
Oh yeah.
But no, I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with Cooper, especially with House, and how they're kind of intertwining with this power source. Again, all of our other characters sort of starting to center around that in one fashion or another. Um,
And see,
So,
we don't even know what's happened with the platinum chip at this point. I mean, obviously he had it because we've seen his robots with that face on them, but we don't know if he really still has that or not. Because that was a big form of his protection, I guess you want to call it, for Vegas
mm,
or and everywhere. Because he had his soldiers go out, and do their thing.
right.
And we've seen them all beat up, so we don't know. I'm pretty sure that they got destroyed with the NCR, though, is what I think they're kind of hinting at on that stuff. Because the NCR seems like they're not much anymore. It seems like the
Yeah.
Brotherhood has pretty much,
They're got more going
yeah,
on a little
they
bit.
got their foot
Because
in it.
even the Legion was pretty beat down. They were kind of sectioned off and stuff. So,
Yeah,
and
this
then,
happened, and that was only two parts of it that we've seen, much less the other ones that are expanded. Because that map I was talking about, it showed different places where they're not even really supposed to be at, but it showed them being there.
let's
So
see,
that
that was
that
last
shows it.
episode, or how far back? Was it last
Yeah,
episode?
that was like I haven't even been that episode before.
Let's see. I think it was behind.
It was when Maximus came in and was talking to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I get it? Got part of it back here. Wait, hang on. This one's a better one.
You'll see some of it right there. But if you look at some of the marks and stuff, it shows like all the like you have to like really zoom in to see the names and everything. But like I said, that map was made by a fan originally,
Mm-hmm.
and they kind of did some adjustments to it, and that shows like where all the fashions are and stuff at this point. And some of them
Okay.
are just grayed out, and we don't know what those are. But like, there's like the red ones and then it also shows like the where the planes are, the volley birds or whatever, the volley birds, is that what they're called? Whatever the fuck they are.
Yeah.
It shows them, and that's where all the different brotherhoods are as well.
Right. It shows their colors, I guess, and then it shows, like you said, the Legion.
Yeah, and in some spots they're like further out than they should be, and not in certain areas that. And some things are called or different names at this point than they was when we first last seen all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
So,
that
yeah.
shows there's still stuff out there that we don't
Like,
know.
no, yeah. And even the way the bartender talked about it, he's kind of talked about how, like, between all these different groups, how, like, one's been in control and then another, and then they fight. You know, like, it's just been this kind of merry-go-round or cycle of who's in charge, who's not in charge.
Yeah, so that tells me that's leaning like through the NCR must have been pretty much a limit. That must be the canon thing that when you pretty much destroyed them, and that final little battle you have at the end of Vegas, that
Mm-hmm.
that's that they were pretty much wiped out as much as they are. Which also says,
Right.
like, the one people were just sitting there for, like, since that happened, they're like, well, we've been here for 10 years and they don't even know, we've seen the abandoned base. Oh, yeah, and that's something else. In that base, in the game, that picture of Mr. House where he's standing in front of the robot?
Mm-hmm.
That's directly from the game, which I didn't know that until I seen a thing talking about it. Like, that's actually inside that base in the game. That's
Okay.
kind of a cool Easter egg as well.
See, they're doing pretty good at trying to add all the lore in there, I think, for the game, as far as, like, yeah, they're adding some other things maybe to add different canon to it, but they're still really trying to add in all those little details. If you have played through all of the whole franchise, you catch all those little things.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
what I
actually
said.
really cool.
It is pretty, and I like the way they add to it, and they're changing a little bit here and there, but it's not enough to be like, well, they just ruined the whole franchise.
Right. Because some of these things are kind of like, even if you've played through the game, right? Like, depending on how well you play through the game, you may not even know, like, some of this lore. Like, if I as much as I played through 3 and I got a good bit of the lore, There's still stuff I hadn't visited that still gives more lore to different things in that area, and I can only imagine going through New Vegas. Like if you miss certain things or you play through it and you think you're done with it, well, you may not have went over here, and then there's a whole bunch of stuff over here that it'll talk about, and there are little
Yeah,
things that you pick up along the way, little notes and stuff.
yeah, it's definitely a thing that you can play several times and you'll still be like, well, I just found some new lore because it's just that thing.
And so that's
And
why, some people may even argue about the lore with the show, but then again, if you hadn't really played, like, I don't even know. That's why some stuff I'm like, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that's something that sounds like from one of the games, but, I had played through all of them, but sure enough, most times it's whatever's referenced is pretty accurate, minus a few little details.
yeah, and like I said, they've even referenced some things from Tactics, which is basically they've taken all that out of canon. But they, like the battle with the Brotherhood thing, like I was telling you last night,
Mm-hmm.
like all that stuff like is not canon, but they've like kind of hinted a little bit to it being canon a little bit now.
Right.
And that's all games that like they wasn't made by the same company, so that there's differences and all that too. Like the first couple, which they've hinted to all that as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was pretty interesting that they're doing this, and then even whether they'd give us a full reveal at the end of all the seasons on who started things or not, they're hinting at it. They're at least they're playing the show out pretty much like you would play a game, like one of the games for the most part. Again, you don't get all the looting aspects and stuff. It is a TV series, but overall, I mean, I'm pretty pleased. Again, this episode, I, I don't know how I want to rate it. If I want to give it the same as I did the last one, a 9. Although I feel like I want to give it at least an 8, but for different reasons. Like the last episode had some bits that were particularly fun, but this one was a lot of lore and sort of build up again for some more things that are to come. A lot of setup, I think, but it's to me not a boring setup.
Yeah, and they've wrapped up quite a few things as well. Like when you're such as like the house stuff and some of the other stuff is all connecting from the beginning to the end. And
Right.
even like they even did the thing where Cooper ended up shooting her with the same gun that she shot him with in the first episode. So
Mm-hmm.
like all that kind of stuff, like that's pretty cool. I think the way they do all that stuff.
Right. Like some of these things, you're like, okay, they mention things, they do things, and then they don't just leave them; they come back to them. They did that a couple times, right? Like Cooper's told us a couple things as when he was a ghoul in season 1, or as the ghoul in season 1, about his time in the army or with the suits or what have you, and now they actually go back and show us him in the whatever suits actually getting
Yeah,
shot in the leg, it causing him to go down. Um, just a lot of little things, like you said, Carl. They're doing good at adding Cooper and Lucy as part of the canon story to the Fallout world, and I
yeah,
like that. I don't know if it's maybe they've always planned on the ghoul being this popular or this cool of a character, but I enjoy how much he is involved.
yeah. And the way that they were not just making like most people that when they see the ghouls, they just think that they're zombies, and they're
Mm-hmm.
putting a very human element in him,
Yes.
and showing that he's not just a zombie. That even the feral ones maybe should maybe be allowed to turn them back to human, like the NCR used to always talk about. Like that's one
Mm-hmm.
of the things. Now, obviously, if you're in the way of saying you want to shoot them, but that's still like an issue that it's just like the politics of Fallout.
Right. But it's cool. I like it. I'm really, again, the ghoul is my favorite. I mean, I know it's supposed to be about Lucy, and I'm not trying to dick on Lucy, but the ghoul is cool. I mean, I do appreciate Lucy trying this season, um, to learn some things and do a little better, but she's just she irritates me too sometimes. But
Yeah,
Agreed.
she's needed in the storyline. But the ghoul is just, yeah, he's just a
Well,
great
she's needed
actor.
for the growth of the ghoul.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's primarily what I see her as. She is what kind of makes the ghoul's heart grow 3 sizes, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And he's become more of the main character now too. I mean, yes, she is our starting main character, and still very much so a main character. But especially after this episode with House and all that stuff, Cooper, if he wasn't, or the ghoul, however you want to refer to him as, he wasn't a main character, but he is definitely a center focus of the story now.
Yeah, and that's something they can grow on as well. If Lucy's part ends, if she's going to do whatever she's going to do, he can still continue on and do something else if needed.
Right. And I like that because whether they intended it all along or not, I'm glad that he is kind of where he is. And again, I hope he doesn't end where he is in the end of this episode, and I don't think he will. But yeah, they have a hell of a great actor and a great character with the ghoul. I don't want to see that one go away. Out of all of them, yeah, if we have to lose some folks, I could, I hate to say it, I could lose Lucy if I had to in the end. I don't want to lose our ghoul. He's just so fun.
I also like the way that they've actually expanded on Mr. House as well too, because in the game he was kind of just this really computerized thing. Like you didn't understand how he knew any information or any of that stuff. And this explains it in more in the depth of how he literally was inside of even the original suits. He was inside. I mean, the Pit Boys and all that stuff that he made, that was obvious. But he was even around even before all that stuff. Still do. Then that's how he got his calculations, and it kind of explains how he's not just some sort of weird autistic computer guy. He is, but he's not. He's actually more evil than he's even portrayed, or if you want to call it evil, whatever you want to call that. He's not he's human, but he's not human in a way of feelings like that. His feelings is all about greed, which opens up, but it shows how he's done that over all the years.
Something.
Because you heard how he talked to you in the game, you're just like, well, okay,
yeah.
How do you know all this stuff?
Right. He's like, well, you don't need to know any of this right now. This is all you need to be concerned with. Just do this for me. You could ask certain questions, but certain questions, he was like, we don't have time for that. And you're not, you're not qualified enough to know that information yet. You don't have clearance.
And it even explains Victor a little bit more. Even though Victor's always an asshole and you knew what he was, but even Victor, you're it's kind of explained a little bit more. Even though you don't really know his full role and everything yet either.
But no, it is crazy, again, they are showing us the present day stuff with whether it's the ghoul, and then we get to see him with Victor present day, and then now we get to go back and kind of see when he first meets some of these individuals. It was a hell of a thing. I still love this one. He's like, the guy from the toilet?
Yeah.
What the shit, dude? All this? What in the hell's... Wow. He's like, really? You could have just come out and said so. But nah, he had to creep up on him in the bathroom. That was creepy. That's why he's like, dude, what in this shit? All of this? Yes, all of this, because I know what's going to happen. And what did he call the other? Not just, he called Cooper a variable, but I think he called the third party what the fuck term did he use? Oh shit, it's a term I'm not even going to be able to repeat properly. A nook shit or something? What the fuck did he call it? Damn it. Why do they got to use fancy words, Dana?
I don't know. I'm not fully awake. I can't remember.
You know what I'm saying, though? He used a particular term.
Is it anomaly? Anomaly?
No, it wasn't the anomaly. It was like a nooksum or something. Oh, what the fuck did he call him? I'm gonna have to go back and listen to this. Hopefully, I don't think you guys can hear it when I pull this. I'm gonna pull up the episode, but not on stream. Because I'm trying to remember what the fuck he called it. It was a particular term. And I can't remember. Oh, I gotta make it to where he's talking to Cooper too. There he is. Something around this part here. What the hell did he say? Oh, yeah, he said the bombs won't be dropped by any of the idiots. He believes. There's a third. There's another player at the table, yes. Same one responsible for the demon in the snow. What the fuck did you call it? Irksome. He called it irksome. Dana, do we need to look?
Think of it's like when you're irked by something. It's irksome.
And he
like
called him
say,
irksome.
Yeah. I don't know if it has. I could look it up, but that's how I took it. Like, hold on.
I just swear they make up words in this fucking universe that they're just too fancy for me.
It is, nope, it's a real world. It's irritating or annoying, an irksome journey, for an example. So yeah, it's just something irritating or, you know. He found it
He called Cooper. Cooper was like the variable, but the other thing was his irksome because it was more than a variable. It was like a third party because House was worried that House wasn't the house and that this third party was the house because the house always wins. And he's like, what if I'm not the house? Then what?
Yeah, because he doesn't like things like that at all. Because according to him, like I say, he knows he knows everything. That even Cooper, he's like, well, maybe you're the reason everything dies. Maybe it's you all along.
Right. Like, maybe you're the killer all along.
And
which is kind of leading us to not know either,
him.
right? Because, like, you have to make those choices within whether it's House or the factions. Like, who do you believe? And Cooper's kind of struggling with that, of trying to know which are the good decisions. Like, who does it? Like, because he didn't take the offer as far as to kill House, but he did go there with a plan to take the package or the energy source.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's still going. I mean, I'm assuming he's not going to be able to get away with it now, but then what does that mean? Because that other lady was expecting him to do stuff too. So is that how he becomes a ghoul? Because he kind of like fucked around and found out?
And we don't know, like, what he said to his wife. Like, as far as we know, he could be like, look, I know that you're doing this and this and this.
Mm-hmm.
So we're a family. Why don't we try to work together? Or if he was just like, nah, I'm not working with you. You're evil. I'm getting away from you. But I'm going to save my daughter.
Right.
We don't know which choice he made on that. I mean, obviously, in the end, they wasn't together, so... But we don't know why or how or any of that at all.
Right, because they do have that, what we get to see, I guess, for the next episode where she's kind of having a conversation with him and she is talking about how there's worse parties or something like that. So I don't know, maybe. I mean, it could be like, yeah, he ends up just like, well, it seemed like he was at a job with daughter when the bombs fell.
Well, it was a birthday. It was almost like he was at a birthday party that he was allowed to be at, but he wasn't normally allowed to be with her or something, to an extent, because he was playing that character.
Yeah,
instead of just being the dad. You know what I mean? Like,
well, she was like tagging along with him, while he did the bit, but I don't know if it was because she wasn't supposed to be there or not. So that is interesting. I'd have to really go back and try to really watch that interaction. Because I didn't, because see, when I first watched that, like thinking back, I didn't take it as like there was the problems that we see now.
No, you was just like, well, why is this guy at a party? Like, who? I mean, he didn't realize exactly like what he's doing or
Right.
anything.
I can't remember if we knew he was well, we knew he was a celebrity, didn't we? Or was that the very
Well,
first episode? I can't
yeah,
remember.
no, we didn't really know. Like, we knew that he was like kind of like it seemed like he was kind of a celebrity, but not really like he was just kind of like a clown at the party or something.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's why how I remember taking it.
We'll have to wait and see if they tell us a little bit more before the end of the season. Like I don't know how much more uh well I should say after his visit at Vegas here with his wife, we're gonna get to see this season. I know they're gonna show House with the chips, and I'm assuming that's all while they're still in Vegas, because I'm assuming I don't know if they stayed for the weekend, so to speak. Because it was like a summit convention that they were at, so they might be there for another. We might get an episode where we kind of get a few more flashbacks where they're there for a little bit longer, but then after that, I don't know how much more flashbacks we're gonna get of Cooper, because they're getting close to the. I mean, we might get a few more. I don't know from this date how close they are to Fallout, because he talked about it was his daughter's birthday and they gave a date, so I'm trying to think of what date they were there to see. But I know I'm interested to see how many more flashbacks we're going to get, because I would think they want to spread some of that storyline out amongst the seasons, if that's going to be like an overarching storyline, like exactly what happened to Cooper, because we know he's going to get to his family at some point. He
Yeah, because
knows where they are, but I don't know if he's going to get them the end of this season, or if that's a carryover.
but we don't even really know if that's really what is in the pods either. That could just be all a ruse. Like he could just have had them there to set Cooper up to go there, and as far as we know, they could just blow up. Because
That's
those
true.
pods have to be open in order for them to be alive a certain way. We know that
Mm-hmm.
from Fallout 4, because that's what happens to you in Fallout 4. Is you get opened up from one of them pods, and if everybody else that was around you was dead because they wasn't opened the correct way. So you can't just move those around. Like it seemed like they were just moved into the middle of the room. Like that's not how that works.
Well, they could have always been there. I mean, when he first went into one of those, he got one of the guys out of there for his experiment. I don't
Yeah,
know if they showed the names.
that's what I'm saying. He could have just put their name on there, and they could just be some random pod.
Well, he didn't show that to the ghoul. That was showed to us as a
Well, he did,
viewer.
but that's to show us. But I'm just saying, us as a
But
viewer,
he
we
wouldn't
just
have
think
done
that.
that necessarily. That was just to show us as a viewer to, like, I think to confirm that they're in there.
Or to make us think that's what's in there. So that could be,
I mean,
yeah,
possibly. I mean, I think
that
they're
could be the
really in
whole.
there. I think that's where they are, because he said
I
he
don't know.
searched several of the vaults that were management in that area of that section of Fallout, and the only one he's never been able to find was the one in Vegas.
Let's see.
So he searched for them now for like what 200 years. And he's been going through. I'm assuming he's went to the Vault Tech facilities, went through records.
Yeah, there's several Vault Tech facilities I'm sure you've been to, but I'm just saying that could be another thing. Like that could lead us on to the next season where he still ain't found them because that's not really them.
Well, I don't think he's even going to make it to him this season. He's pretty hurt right now. It's going to be an episode at least before he gets fully back on his feet. Somebody's going to have to come up and save him, and then he's got to get healed, and then he's going to be getting ready to have to formulate a plan. I doubt he's going to get to it in 3 episodes. Because he's not stupid. Like, even though Lucy wanted to go in and stuff, he knows better than that. He's not just going to go run in there.
Yeah, that's true.
I would assume he would want to get, because he doesn't have any weapons really other than his shotgun, I think. If he even still has that, if Lucy didn't take his shit. So he, you know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't really have anything at this point. I don't know who's going to come in to help him. So I'm curious. Like I said, I'm curious to see how they're going to end the season with 3 episodes left.
Yeah, and even if Maximum was to come, they only have the 1 suit, and they barely have anything as well.
And see, that's why I'm thinking that's going to be a carryover into next season. Now, I'm trying to think if they're going to be able to get Lucy out, or if Lucy's going to escape within the next episode. And wouldn't that be just kind of too bad? Like, if she just escapes and then goes back to the ghoul to save him, that would be kind of shitty, right?
Well, we've seen in them clips that somehow she was like dressed in a dress and all kinds of shit, so we don't really know exactly.
And she may not ever get back out of it. Then
Yeah.
by the end of the season, she might be
Yeah.
stuck in there with Daddy. Then, well, that would suck. Then we're gonna get a lot of just Daddy Lucy stuff with the whatever's going on in that vault.
That simulator's behind, so she could be in a simulator for a little bit, like
That's
for a brief
true.
second, and then
That is true. There is still a lot in that trailer. There's still a few bits.
Yeah.
From the trailer, they're gonna have to fit in. So there's not much, and I thought they were going to show more with the Legion as well and the Brotherhood. So that's a lot to fit in 3 episodes.
I almost think what they showed with the Legion is probably like their, at least that sector of them, or like that was their like little demise, unless they come up in a later season.
We got to have an episode. It showed our boy like stabbing dude.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't think we're going to see much more of that this season.
We got to see at least that much of him taking on what I'm assuming is going to be the Caesar type role. Yeah. So that's got to be in 1 episode, which that's going to have to take. I mean, you're going to assume that, and the Brotherhood stuff might be going on around the same. I don't even know if they're going to show us anything else with the Brotherhood, like the aftermath.
And if they are planning on doing anything with Enclave, they could be just having them take over the Brotherhood spot. That they come.
Well, they could have them come in on like the last episode or something as like a reveal for next season.
Because that's what they would do too. They would be like, because all that came from them anyway, so they want their technology back. Even all their planes and all that stuff came from the Enclave. They stole that stuff.
All right. So I don't think they would have casted someone like they did to be in the Legion like that without him carrying over next season.
Yeah, especially having like Macaulay Culkin playing that character. They ain't just gonna have him.
Right. So he's gonna. I mean, they gotta have at least 1 episode with them finishing that off, and whatever. And I'm assuming he's gonna end up going after whatever in the. That's gonna have to be another hurdle for him at some point down the line. I mean, the Legion's not just going to. They don't stand by. If they sense weakness somewhere, they're going to go take over.
And I could be completely wrong. The Enclave could just not exist. It could be the institution all along with the sense and all that shit.
I don't know much about the institution. I don't remember them.
They were there in 4. You didn't see.
I haven't gotten to that yet.
But that guy had that name of the sense. So that was kind of like a little. It was either an Easter egg or it was hinting at something that could be. They could have been around, which I guess they could have been around all along, but that's never really been like confirmed that I know of.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see then. Like I said, we got a few more storylines they got to finish up. I don't know what the end of the season is like, what their sort of ending note is going to be. Cliffhanger where we're going to be left off sort of. Like I said, last season we got left off with knowing that they were going to New Vegas with Daddy in the armor suit. This season, I'm not sure. Like I said, Daddy's got everything at his disposal. I don't know if his little minions are going to make it to him or not, since they're trying to. Because you would think if they're trying to hook up those comms and they were trying to reach out to someone, that her dad would hear that. So I'm curious to see if they're going to make it to that vault to help him with what he has going on.
Yeah, and I would think that probably wouldn't have been House either. So that makes me really think that House wasn't exactly who he was trying to talk to when he was talking to people. He,
Mm-hmm.
I think he's just another pawn and another chip on the table, as you want to say.
Right. Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they already showed that House had that one dude sort of supposed to be him for like what 10 years,
Yeah,
and everybody believed it, right? Like nobody seemed to know the difference, or at least nobody that because he went out in the public, right? And people were like, "Oh, were you a big fan of his?" And he was like, "Oh, yes, I'm a big fan." And he used his little thing on the dudes and got him to go after his friends or whatever for some money,
yeah.
and his head exploded. Fun times. And they did not recognize him or even have an inkling that he was Mr. House.
Which I
So
could
he's kept
say,
his identity pretty, like you said, he's very much so kept his identity or his real identity hidden.
yeah, because House was always focused on whatever House is doing. His Vegas is all he ever cared about and making money.
Hmm. And I wonder if our ghoul Cooper, if his wife was aware that the house that was at the meeting is not the real house.
I almost would say no, because I think she's working with that third party, and
Is
House
Cooper going to
doesn't fit.
reveal that to her? Like, is that going to be part of the conversation? Or is he going to keep that one those
Maybe that's
cards
why
sort of
he's like,
close to his
listen,
vest?
I don't know. That's a good question.
So I'm trying to figure out how they're going to tie this up for 3 episodes with because they have a lot on the table. To be fair,
Yeah.
and
So
I'm
I
not
would
even
assume
just saying like I understand some of these things are going to carry over, but some of these things I'm like even like they still need to wrap up a little bit with the Legion, possibly with the. I mean, they don't have to really wrap up with the Brotherhood, but at least Maximus, something else with Maximus. I would think they would have to give us Lucy's brother. They left us with him getting choked out, so we got to have at least something with him. And then Lucy's, they got to have fill all this. They got all this fill in with Lucy right now with her dad and what he's doing at that vault. Like I know that's going to be a big thing because they showed trailers of that, or they showed parts of that in the trailer, and then just with what is to come up in the episodes with them showing House talking more about the chip. I mean, they're going to have to continue. I mean, that's going to be a big, at least for an episode or two.
Yeah, I would assume they're at least going to attempt to wrap up the House stuff, and it's going to move on to whatever's next after that will be the ending, like
Because what
towards
is
the
his
end.
overarching plan for these chips? Are they just going to put them in anybody and everybody?
Well, originally that was one of the things they was trying to make the perfect workers, just like Lucy's Vault was supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of having them trained, they did, obviously they can just skip that part and put the chip on them.
Right.
So,
And
but
he
I think,
seemed to have fixed it with that dude too. Like it wasn't maybe just a guy. Like maybe he actually fixed the chip because he looked like he was getting ready to go into production according to the trailer.
yeah, which could be a mistake because, like I said, that dude could have just had that happen. Well, I guess there is a bunch of other people in the wasteland, so maybe it only works with them. The whole
He said, I
obstacle
don't know if
wasn't
he's
a
going to
shot.
test it on more people and they're going to like confirm because I know he tested it on him. With, you know, I don't know. That's more stuff they're going to have to either show us or I guess we're just going to have to assume he fixed the chip and got it operational. That's all stuff they're going to have to kind of wrap up, I would assume. Like I said, with 3 episodes, I'm not exactly sure how long each episode is. They're usually around 45 minutes or so far. And that's a lot to fill in. But they've packed a lot in this season as far as giving us backstory and stuff. So I don't know. They're doing a lot of setup this season. We did get a lot of good moments so far as for explosions and game little Easter eggs and stuff like that. So they're packing in a lot. I still like I said, this episode may not have been as high action as some of the other ones. It's not as much of that, even though there's still a little bit. But for the good moments we get with the ghoul, I mean, because he's such my favorite character, I still have to give this episode an 8. What about you guys? Where would you rate the episode?
I'm about a 7. I liked last week's episode more, but I'm still not bad. I'm still enjoying the season, so I'm around a 7.
Nice. What about you, Carl?
Yeah, I'd say about a 7.75, just because I like the way that they kind of wrap stuff up, but there's still, like you were saying, there's still a lot of stuff that may or may not ever be answered. We don't know. There's still a lot of variables in that. But overall, it was a pretty decent episode.
Yeah, it wasn't as action packed. I want to say, is it like, I guess, a lot of expose and stuff in it, a lot of just a story kind of things going on, but I still think they were necessary. They gave us some good moments with our ghoul. I just love the ghoul. He's so perfect. He's just so badass. I mean, he just walks up and you just feel like the things are about to get interesting. And I do like that they're tying him in so much into the story now, more than I thought he was going to be. So that's really good. I like that. And it's kind of why I give the episode a little bit more nudge.
Yeah, I always thought he was kind of like he could have been a throwaway character by now. If they didn't have done all the character building and stuff with him, because he kind of just seemed like somebody that you would have picked up along the way to go finish your mission, and then, you know, they'll do what you need to do.
Yeah, but no, they've definitely made him a center character now, and I'm very happy about that. And you guys in the chat, before we get ready to wrap it up tonight, I'm not going to get to gaming tonight. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to try to work my schedules out better. It's a new year with lots of new things going on in the real life, so we'll get back to some Fallout games here real soon. I'm hoping this weekend. I'll just do I might do a couple double streams where I'm doing one Fallout, and then I'll set up another stream and do some Arc Raiders. But I'm just trying to get it all worked out for you guys, so I apologize about tonight. But let us know where you rate the episode and what were your favorite moments, if you had a favorite moment, or what was your, just give us your take on the episode, where you are at with the season and what you're looking forward to. Like, what do you want it to wrap up on? Any of those things, let us know, guys. I know I think if I had to pick possibly a favorite moment, and it is, oops, I'm pressing the wrong things. I didn't close that. I don't need that open anymore, the episode. It's this ending part with the ghoul going kind of through the stuff with House, and then having to deal with the realization of not, having to give Lucy up and all that. That was, yeah, I liked that part of the episode a lot. I'm trying to think if there was, but I really did like, I just love these two characters because it was funny. She's just telling us about the roach farm, and they're just almost ready for market. And then I love the part where she's like, "Shut up, Barb. I'm trying to be a better person." All the good Samaritan-ness. I don't know why. Maybe because it just, for some reason, when she said that to her, I just thought karma points, and I'm like, yeah, I understand. But I did. I like that, and the ghoul with Lucy. All those bits were pretty good.
Yeah, other than Fish though, I like the whole nod to the Doctor Strange love thing, just because if you know that whole movie and what that's all about, and it kind of like wrapped up the way that the whole ending is, where they left the goal and all that. It kind of made it all make sense. But I can't say I enjoy Fish though, just because it's Fish though.
Right? Yeah, I forget. Yeah, that's a good moment too. That was just, there's just some interesting characters in Fallout, I tell you. How to get back to and I love that they had it at a taco stand. I don't know why, but yeah, that made me giggle too. Mostly because I thought of Tech Zombie. And I was just like, oh, look, there's the taco stand.
Which is kind of funny because in what was it, the episode before where they was doing all the hot dog things?
I don't know why. It was like, of all places, right? Dude's on a date with a robot. And look, he brought the flowers. It's so fucked up. He got the fusion core. Like, he needed the fusion core or whatever to, like, set it up to get the robot back to being operational and shit. Oh, no. It was just, and of all places, at a taco stand. I don't know. How random is that, though? It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Even in the apocalypse, folks, tacos are still what's up. It's like somebody, I mean, I'm not saying they got actual tacos here, but it's lit up. Like, they have power here. I mean, somebody might have had a taco stand here. It may not be the kind of tacos you want to eat, though, Dana.
Yeah, nope, I'm good.
See, that's where the rad roach meat comes in.
I could only imagine.
And just like Taco Bell, allegedly.
Don't even
Apocalyptic Taco Bell. This is taco after the borders have been completely taken down. But no. Get an extra. All the extra crust. But no, all around was a good episode. Like I said, a lot of good moments. You guys picked out some good ones too. I always forget this whole. You could forget. He's just so excited to be in Vegas. He's a whole new man now. Oh, I can't wait till next week though, actually, to see the talk show and see how, because they had the episode. So I'm curious to see what his next week's talk show is going to be about. If he's going to be like part of the talk show now that he's more center staged in the, like, it's the first time we've really seen him in the season, right?
Pretty much. I mean, we've seen him. Yeah, it's the first time we've really seen him in the season.
With Fisto. So there's that. I can't wait to see. So he's part of it too. We'll see what happens to him and all of our characters. With 3 episodes left, so we'll definitely be back Friday or next Friday night to talk about the next episode. I know, Dana, what we got tomorrow night, we're going to be diving into a new show.
Yep, I'm going to be diving into a new Korean show called Steady Group. So if you're into fighting and a good story and a fun watch, then come hang out. It's a good show.
Nice. And then, like I said, oh wait, no, I do have some. Should I promote that? I don't even think I should promote that for Sunday night. It's not on my channel, and I'm not putting the link out there, but the school's in session Sunday night somewhere.
All the buses.
No, you know, we do a lot. It's going to be educational. I did watch the movie, though, The 13th Floor. That was actually an interesting movie. We'll talk about that somewhere out there on the interwebs. In a place I would never send anyone to.
Yeah, you have to be aware of that place.
Yeah, that's like what is it when you have like a speakeasy? Was it like the secret places? You got to have the code word and shit.
It's an alternate universe.
I don't even know how I ended up there, Dana.
I don't either.
No, we figured it out though. University. Anyways, guys, I'm sorry. But yeah, I think that's all we have for now. Again, I'm gonna try to fit some more gaming streams in there. I know Monday is a holiday, so I might be able to do something Monday. But until then, guys, we hope you all have a safe, happy, wonderful, exciting weekend, or restful one, peaceful one, whichever kind you would like to enjoy. And we will see you guys tomorrow night at what time?
9 p.m.
Eastern, folks. So that's right. You better be there, be square. We're diving into a new show, and I can't wait to see what it's about. But thank you, Carl, Dana, and everyone in the chat for hanging with us tonight. And we love you guys, and we'll see you all on the next one. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Paint me a scene, city in color, the way that you see, the way you see it. Don't you wish that I could give you, I could give you everything. 1, 2, 3, and my heart is racing. Can't fall asleep, I got my mind in a throw. Weightless, floating through the day. Trust that I'll be okay. I'm happy alone, but I let it go. Waiting for you. Wait until you realize. Waiting for you. Wait until you realize. If you wanna run ahead, I'll meet you where the water meets the earth we cling to. If you wanna find the edge, I'll come too. I could run around this world all day with you. I could show you this world.